Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and War Games, and today I'm so excited. We're going to discover together the new codex for the Leagues of Votann, which has entirely leaked. I am very happy, and thanks to the previous video someone sent this to me, so thank you very much, Kin. And this way we can discover this together. I don't have the points, and anyway the points in the book would be pointless in the sense that they're going to change for sure, but at least we can have a guess of what changed, what did not change, etc, etc. We're gonna try to make this quick, just for someone who played Leagues of Votann before and wants to know what changed. We're going to cover this all together, so let's get going. We start with the detachments, of course, and then we will see the different units. I think, yeah, it's safer this way. I will keep open the little Wikipedia to check. I know the datasheets quite well, but still we'll be able to compare the units before. So this is the Needgaârd Oathband, so the old Oathbands. We know that it was the basic detachment that has been quite moved. The detachment rule, we knew it. When you destroy an enemy unit, you gain 1 yield point. I will not explain again what is yield point. It's just the video from 2 days ago explains, but basically you gain those yield points when you are on objectives in the no man's land, and then you can spend them on different things. And if you have at least 7, you switch from an offensive, reroll charge, etc. to a defensive -1 wound position. Okay, the Needgaârd. 4 enhancements. The first one, any League of Votann model, so it doesn't work for vehicles, I think, as well. But yeah, it needs to be characters, so it doesn't work for us. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes an attack, reroll the wound rolls of 1, fine. And each time you can shoot or fight, you can spend 3 yield points. If you do, then you also add 1 to the wound roll. Okay, so quite nice for an unnamed character. Let's say, for example, a champion, but it doesn't have many attacks, or Kâhl. Rerolling wound rolls of 1 and then being able to get +1 to wound is nice. It means you're often going to wound on 4 rerolling, or 3s, sorry, rerolling 1, even 2s rerolling 1s. I mean, it depends on the points again, but I like this. It's like good, straight up fun, and you can spend even more the yield points that you will gain. Dead Reckoning, Leagues of Votann model, okay. At the end of the turn, if it is on the battlefield and you spent no yield point that turn, you gain 1 yield point. And you spend no yield. Why? What the hell? Like, okay. Apparently, all the stratagems want you to spend yield points, and this Oathbound Speculator also asks you for spending yield points, and probably everybody wants you to spend yield points. So I guess you can gain +1 yield point for your go turns, but if I'm being honest, either it's only the bearer's model that doesn't need to consume yield points, in this case, fine, or even a bubble around him, but otherwise, it's exactly against what the detachment wants you to do, and you gain just 1 miserable yield point? Nah. Iron Ambassador. Okay, model equipped with an Autok pattern combi bolter. Do we say Autok? I don't know. So basically the Kâhl, I think the champion as well, many people have Autok. I had a little look, for example, Buri has an Autok pattern as well. Once per battle, when you shoot, you can use this enhancement. So, okay, it's once per battle, and then up to 3 yield points, okay. And, oh wow, you add the number of yield points you spend to the damage characteristic. But, okay, I have something to say about this. It's amazing. Getting damage 4 on a bolter is insane, but it's still a bolter. Very little AP, I think even 0 if it didn't change, and a few shots, very little strength. I mean, it's fun, but at least boost the AP or something, because yeah, you are damage 4, but if no saves is lost by the enemy, because you want to shoot these, I don't know, at Terminators or Deathwing Knights or whatever, what is it? Why are you doing this? Yeah, again, on the bolters, makes me a bit sad, except if you have 4 rerolls of wound, or you can boost the AP somehow else, we'll see. But right now, I'm like, eh. And finally, the Ancestral Crest, so I think we knew this from before. Once per turn, when you make a common reroll, okay, this we indeed knew it from the preview. Basically, you spend 1 yield point, -1 to the CP cost for a stratagem, for the basic reroll stratagems. Good for the Hazardous, for example, especially if you put it on an Arkanyst. Okay, now we are gonna discover some stuff. sorry, wrong page. So Needgaârd, Void Hardened, okay, reduce AP by 1. Very well, we knew this. It's the Armor of Content for the Space Marines player, 1 CP. Shooting phase, fight phase, we know it, it's very good. And Celestial Sentence, we've also seen this being previewed. Basically, you gain Sustain it 1 for 1 CP in your shooting phase, and if you spend 3 yield points, you gain Sustain it 2. Very well. I think it's still going to be very much a staple. Honor of the Old, we've also seen this, and then it's going to be only everything brand new. Honor of the Old, basically you gain AP 1 in melee, like plus 1 AP, and if you spend 3 heal points, plus 2 AP. Okay, extremely good. Hunter's Mark. Hunter, it used to be the name, like the category of your weapons. What does it do? You choose, for 1 CP shooting phase, 1 unit that did not shoot, and then they reroll hit rolls of 1 and wound rolls of 1. Okay. Actually not bad. Like we need to check between Ancestral Sentence and stuff, but I think like this is actually quite reliable. If you don't want to, if you're gonna shoot and you don't want to spend yield points to gain Sustain 2, rerolling wound rolls of 1 and hit rolls of 1, it's a good alternative. And Ordered Retreat. Okay, this also we knew it was very important and interesting. You can move back and charge and shoot. Still the same? Yeah, still the same. Amazing. It was amazing before for your Hearthguards, so they can shoot because they have good shooting, and then fight first because they're not so tough. Amazing on your Hecaton Line Fortress, so it doesn't have -1 to hit. Like amazing all around for 1 CP. We love it. And Reactive Reprisal, we knew this as well. Okay, there is a little condition more for Reactive Reprisal. Your opponent's shooting phase just after the enemy has shot. If units from your army have Fortify Takeover, so it's going to be turn 3, or probably maybe turn 2, but like turn 2 or 3. You cannot do it turn 1 anymore. That's sad. Still 2 CP, and then the person, like the unit that was shot, can shoot back as if it was the shooting phase, and only at the person that shot that. Like you can shoot only the unit that shot you, and only if it's an eligible target. Okay, so it was good. To be honest, it was not so OP that I thought you needed to make another restriction to say like you need to be in 45 takeover. I mean, it's fluff, but damn. Okay. So Oathband, still fun, still good. You still have the old tools. You get some new ones. I still like it very much. We continue full discovery with the Hernkyn detachment, the Persecution Prospect. I'm discovering this with you, if I'm being honest, but I'm trying to release this video on the 7th of August, which is literally when I learned of this. So your main rule is Guerrilla Adepts. In your shooting phase, just after this unit, so anybody, just after this unit has shot, it can use this ability. Then you select one enemy unit. Until the end of the phase, your unit can only shoot at those units, so not a monster, not a vehicle, but then you have to target only this, so all on one. Okay, sure. Overwhelming firepower. And after resolving his attack, if one or more of those attacks hits, so often yes, then until the start of your next shooting phase, that enemy unit is assailed. Okay, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? This, okay, it's for enhancements and when you are assailed, it's just just a status, we'll see. And if it is already assailed, the second time you shoot at them, it becomes pinned. While it's pinned, -2 to the movement, -2 to the charge. Okay, very well. So there's going to be like being assailed is just like a little trigger we'll see for the stratagem and stuff. So you need to shoot at someone full strength 1, so only bonus for shooting. And if you shoot twice full power on someone, then indeed -2 movement, -2 charge. Oh my god, like I recently played against Black Templars. How much I would have loved to have this capacity. That sounds really, really fun. I think it's going to be a good trick thing, but we don't have such great movement. So if you do this against Eldars, sure, like they're like going to be like, sure, I charge you anyway. But if you do this against, I don't know, Orcs, World Eaters, Black Templars, like many factions that want to come in melee, -2 movement, -2 charge. If you stay at the extreme range as much as possible, there is a world where it will be extremely annoying, and I love that you can just teleport around. I had some teasers, like there are ways to go back in reserves and stuff. This is very much guerrilla warfare. You almost feel like Genestealer Scuff like this. I love this. So enhancements. Eye for weakness. Any infantry like Leagues of Votann model. When you attack an assailed unit, okay, so someone else already shot, so he's assailed, then your entire unit, so it's not just for the carrier, the entire unit gains +1 to the wound roll. Okay, that is brilliant. That is amazing. Not so hard to trigger. I think it's going to be expensive because a flat +1 to wound for the entire unit of Hearthguards or Steeljacks or everything, that's quite good. Like I said, it's really good, guys. Rite of Acquisition. Oh my god, like I feel like Kharadron Overlords with this, which is the army I played in Age of Sigmar as well. So Rite of Acquisition. In your shooting phase after the bearer's unit has shot, you gain 1 heal point for each assailed unit hit by one or more of those attacks. Okay, so it's basically heal point farming. Okay, so it's okay, 3 heal points is nothing to joke about. What happens is you assail units, or you pin them as well, as you wish, but you need to do quite a bit of shooting. Then you have the shooting unit of the person that has the Rite of Acquisition. For example, you put this on someone with a good range, on an Iron-Master that is in the middle of a pack of Thunderkyn, for example. Then the Thunderkyn goes in the middle, and you split fire on 3 different units that each of them has been focus fire already once at least. And then each time you hit, so most of the time you're going to hit at least, I'm not telling you about wounding or making damage and stuff, just hitting, you gain 1 heal point. That is efficient. Like, it does require quite some setup, but I think for good players, this is really going to be a good reward. 3 heal points maximum straight. I mean, I love it. You need to work to get this, but then 3 heal points? Yes. I hope you have ways to also spend those heal points. Surgical Saboteur. On this one, after the bearer's unit has shot, so you put it in a unit, select 1 monster or vehicle, and oh my god. So that was hit by one or more of those attacks, and then this unit is pinned. So usually being assailed, being pinned, it doesn't work on monsters. Here, straight up, you shoot at someone, pinned. So -2 movement, -2 to the charge. That is great on units of infantry that want to shoot at vehicles or monsters. I'm thinking for vehicles, it's going to be Thunderkyns, which were anti-vehicle 2+. Little spoiler, they became 3+ anti-vehicle, but also anti-monster. Thank you, Games Workshop. So again, Iron-Master, pack of Thunderkyn, amazing. Or also, I didn't check the range of our brand new Steeljacks, that can be very good as well. This is amazing. Like, it depends on the vehicle. If you shoot on a Riptide, it's going to be like, yeah, I don't charge you, whatever. But if you shoot on a monster such as, I don't know, Angron or something, oh my god, yes. Needgaârd Strategist. Okay, this is the one I had a teaser for. So once per battle, be careful, if the bearer is on the battlefield, at the end of the fight phase, so you cannot, like, we know this kind of redirect, you can use this. You can spend up to 4 heal points, so good that you can farm them. First of all, you select 1 Hernkyn unit, and then if you spend 2 heal points, you select a second Hernkyn unit, and if you spend 4 heal points, you select 3 different Hernkyn units, and all of them go back in strategic reserve. And you cannot select a unit that is within engagement range, so if you are in melee, you cannot leave. However, if the enemy is assailed, you can still anyway fall back from the melee. We'll have to be very careful about the Hernkyn keyword. I think it's going to be the Kapricus, the Pioneers, and the Yaegirs. And wow, like this is brilliant. Like this depends on the price, but Surgical Saboteur, Needgaârd Strategist, Eye for Weakness, 3 banger capacity, like enhancements, and the whole thing seems amazing. Like, it seems to be really tricky. You need to have some, well, first of all, you need a lot of Yaegirs, so I think it's time for me to buy a 2nd or 3rd box of Yaegirs. But if you want to focus on Hernkyns, which are not super strong units, this is very good detachment rule and enhancement. We'll have to see if the stratagems are also really good. Let's take a look. Adaptable Avarice. Oh my god, I love the stratagem. Leagues of Votann, best faction ever. By the way, if you didn't see the video from yesterday, stay until the end or skip to the end. There is a way to have extra discounts to have the cheapest prices of Europe, but we'll talk about it at the end. You probably know this already. Let's see the stratagem, Adaptable Avarice. At the start of any phase, if you're in defensive mode, so probably you're going to want to farm some yield points with your little trick to get there fast. 1 character unit, so remember, if you have a Kâhl in a unit of Hearthkyn, the whole pack is considered a character unit. Each time you use this stratagem, you can spend any number of heal points. Great. Once you have done so, if you have 6 or fewer, okay. So it allows you to, for 1 CP, spend as many yield points as you want, like just throw them out of the window to, you can go to 0, you can go to 3, you can go to 6, in order to go back to hostile acquisition right away until the start of the next turn. Okay, so the first, like, I wish there was something that we could do with it, but okay, it's an army that wants to reroll advance because you have a lot of assault weapons, reroll charges as well, maybe. So it's good to be able to spend 1 CP to go back, but I need to see on the table how good it's gonna be. If your units in their datasheets have bonuses when they are in hostile acquisition, otherwise, I mean, Hernkyn are quite fragile. Having -1 to wound is what I want. Especially since the Pioneers are not vehicles, so they do benefit from the -1 to wound. Ranger Tactics, your shooting phase, 1 CP as well. 1 unit that has not been selected yet to shoot until the end of the phase if it makes an attack on an assailed unit. If your unit has the Hernkyn keyword, so Pioneers, Kapricus, Yaegirs as well, full reroll of the hit rolls. Okay, for 1 CP on someone that is assailed, it's gonna be +1 to hit if you hit someone that is on an objective. Assailed, it's gonna be full reroll of the hits. Maybe it's gonna be with the enhancement, so +1 to wound. I mean, damn, it's a really the Gene Stealer cult / combo detachment, and I love it. Frontier Momentum, 1 CP, your movement phase, 1 Hernkyn unit that has not moved yet. If it advances, you make a flat 6 instead of rolling a dice. Amazing with everything else that we have seen. You're going to be able to, well, you don't get to use your reroll advance anymore, but if you want to really take an objective, for sure, amazing. And you have a lot of assault weapons as well. Claims Taker Reflex. Your opponent's movement phase. Oh my god, is it a reactive move? Yes, please. 1 League of Votann unit from your army that is within 9 inches of a unit that just made a normal advance or fallback move, so not going out of going out of transport is a normal move. 1 CP. You can spend up to 2 yield points. Okay, you make a normal move of up to D6, and if you spent the 2 yield points, then it's flat 6. And you cannot embark within a transport as part of this move. That's where I was going with this. I was like, oh, go back to the carrier. No, unfortunately, no. Still, 1 CP and 2 yield points, flat 6 reactive movement, amazing on any unit except vehicles. But it means it works on Hearthguards. I mean, you want to make a movement of 6 inches to be super aggressive with Hearthguards, you can. You want to hide your Ironkyns, even your Pioneers, which are not vehicles, they are mounted. Let me check very fast, guys. Yeah, good. I just checked. Indeed, they are only mounted. They are not vehicles. So amazing for your Pioneers to be able to have this reactive move. Like, I love it. It's going to be so hard to catch this detachment. Exposed Flow, your shooting phase again. 1 Hernkyn unit from your unit army that has not been selected yet to shoot at this phase. Each time you use this stratagem for 1 CP, you can spend 2 yield points, okay, until the end of the phase. Each time a model in your unit makes an attack, if you spend yield points, and or if that attacks targets an assailed unit, you re-roll the wound roll. Amazing. Okay, so either you shoot at someone that is assailed, 1 CP, no question, re-roll the wound roll, okay? And if for some reason you're shooting at someone that was not assailed yet, because you're the first unit to fight or something, spend 1 CP anyway, you can re-roll the wound roll. Amazing. Like, I mean, you just saw, guys, like we have full rerolls of hits, full rerolls of wounds, reactive movements, quite a few reactive movements to be honest. Advanced flat 6. Good that it's for the units that need the help the most, but damn, this is going to be a very good unit. 49 primary being impossible to catch. Love the flavor of this detachment. Is it going to be the most OP? I have no idea. Depends on the cost, depends on the data sheets, but damn, is it going to be fun. And Disperse Formation, please let us get something. I wanted something for the Kapricus, apparently not. Disperse Formation, your opponent's shooting phase, just after they targeted, you choose one of your infantry or mounted, so the Pioneers, from your army that was selected as the target of one of the attack, and then you have Stealth, okay, so -1 to hit, very good, and each time a ranged attack targets your unit, you have cover, so okay, you basically have smoke on anyone. Amazing. Like for weak units, still it's going to be toughness 5, toughness 6. Having cover, if you didn't have it, and -1 to wound really boosts your defensive capabilities. And you know what? I'm just going to have a super quick check that the carrier is Hernkyn. Of course he is. And is it mounted? No, it's a vehicle. Okay, but the Persecution Prospect, incredibly fun. Like, I think he's going to be quite powerful in the hands of good players. I love it. We'll have to see the datasheets, but damn, this is a good detachment. Now, the one I was expecting the most, the Brandfast Oathband, the one with the vehicles, because, well, you've seen my conversions in the previous videos, you know how much I love Votann vehicles, especially when they're converted to be spider tanks, and I'm really excited for the Kapricus and everything. We knew that, like the detachment rule already, fire-based control, it's an aura, remember, 10th edition, no auras anymore, promised, and no rerolls, promised Games Workshop. Aura, while a friendly Leagues of Votann infantry is wholly within this transport, so only transports have this, Sagittor and Carrier it's going to be, and Hekaton of course. Ranged weapons, so no melee, ranged weapons of the infantry have sustained hit 1, flat, all the time, forever. Great for Thunderkyns, great for long range, maybe even Hearthkyn, great for everyone. I wonder if Hernkyn Yaegirs inside carriers do benefit from this, because, well, they're not technically wholly within 6 of the transport. Maybe there's going to be an FAQ, we'll have to see. So I'm very excited for this, because this is probably going to be the first detachment I try. Tactical Alchemy. Kâhl model only, okay. First time we see a restriction for a specific type of model, only for Kâhls. In your command phase, if the bearer's unit is within range of one or more objective that you control not within your deployment zone, okay, you spend a 1 CP, you spend 1 yield point, and on a 4+, you get a CP. Okay, that's good. I think it can combo with the capacity to give back a tactical card and gain a 1 CP. So, I mean, for a big pack of whatever Hearthguards or even Hearthkyn that you're gonna put on, I think it's nice. Depends on the price, but to gain CPs, depends on the stratagems as well, of course, but depends on the price. I think I will try to find a place for this thing. Trevarg Cyber Implant, Leagues of Votann model, any of them. In your shooting phase, each time the bearer's unit is selected to shoot, if it disembarked from a transport, yes, or if you spent 2 yield points, then you have sustained it 2 instead of sustained it 1. So it's great because to have this, because I see it on so many units. We'll have to see the profiles. Oh my god, it could work also on things like Steeljacks. Yeah, it depends. We will see the datasheets, but that's amazing. When you disembark, you're fine. You have your sustained 2, and then you can spend yield points to get it again. If you don't want to re-embark and you're like, okay, I really need it again, sustained 2. Love it. Very good. Very, like, it synchronizes well with the detachment rule. Love it. Another one only for Kâhl's, Precursive Judgment. So for the Kâhl, while this model's unit is wholly within 6 of a transport, you can fire Overwatch for 0 CP and you, oh my god, and hits are scored on a 5+. So you put a big pack of, okay, maybe not the Steeljacks because they have bonuses to this, but a big pack of Thunderkyn, a big pack of Hearthguards, any infantry unit, fire Overwatch for 0 CP and hit rolls of 5+. I mean, come on, get close to my Hekaton-led fortress, or my Sagittors. Oh my god, yes, it looks amazing. I love this, it's very thematic. I am so playing this. I hope, tell me in the comments, guys, does it combo with the capacity of the Memnyr, that we're going to see later, but we have the teasers, of giving free fire Overwatch? I wonder, we'll have to see the exact wording. I hope it can combo, because otherwise it's gonna be sad. And then it depends on the price. If it can combo and you can have 2 Overwatch for free for the Memnyr and the Steeljacks and for whoever escorts your Hekaton or your Sagittors, love it. I am absolutely doing this. If it's not possible, then we'll have to see from the price, but maybe not. And Signature Restoration, oh, love it. Your Iron-Master gains +1 to its healing capacity. Easy, flat, I love that. Brilliant, I used to love this. We'll have to see how it works exactly, and the price, of course, but it's a good little bonus. I think I want all of them. Well, we'll have to see. Precursive Judgment, it really depends. Tactical Alchemy, maybes. The Cyber Implant and the Signature Restoration depends on the price, of course, but damn, there, I want both of them. Stratagems, hopefully they're going to be really, really good. Let's have a look. Secure positions. Yes, the name is already cool. At the end of any phase, if you are in hostile acquisition, so the beginning of the game, one Leagues of Votann unit embarked within your transport can disembark, and then it can be set up anywhere within 6 of your transport. So you can do this at the end of the command phase. You can do this at the end of any phase of the movement phase. So you move your transport, but that's at all. There is something that I'm not sure, guys. Does it mean that you can make a full movement with a Sagittor or of an Hecaton and still disembark people and still shoot? I know, okay. I thought it allowed you to make a kind of like double movement with this, like disembark and then still move, but no, it will be the end of the movement phase. So let's chill out for a second, but still you're gonna be so mobile with this, because your Sagittor moves and then you disembark within 6. So to get firing lines with your shooty guys with sustain it 1, amazing. You will need to be wholly within 6, so it's still gonna trigger your army roll. Great. And even then, if the enemy has been a bit, let's say, risky by getting close to your Sagittor that is full of Beserks, then the enemy needs to think like, okay, he can disembark 3 and move and charge, but then you say like, okay, remember guy, they can disembark 6 for just 1 CP. So then your opponent is like, okay, I need to be even further away to make sure I don't have risk of being impacted by Berserks, and just having this stratagem in your back pocket is gonna give real headaches to your opponents. Brilliant, amazing, I love, I really am happy that we have this. Just this and a re-embark stratagem, and I'm happy. Inexorable efficiency. Your shooting phase, 1 unit for your army. Amazing. Okay, you can shoot but not charge in a turn in which you fell back. So okay, a little bit less good than the generic detachment, but still fall back and shoot at full power is amazing on several units. Well, a bit less on the Hearthguards, even though Hearthguard used to be mostly shooty, so even on them it would be very on the money. And any other unit, your Hecaton, your everything, is very happy with that. 1 CP Bastion running. Oh my god, this is from the previous 9th edition Codex. Your movement phase, your Hecaton Land Fortress specifically that has not moved can move through terrains. Yes! Oh my god, this is so good! Okay, amazing. What can I say? This is absolutely brilliant. First of all, it's super thematic to have your big Hecaton just crushing through a wall in the theme and moving super fast. Oh my god, this is amazing. You hide your Hecaton full of angry Berserks, because that's what you're gonna do with this, and then they can disembark or just be where you want it to be. Amazing. Your Hecaton is big, especially if you're like me and you put it extra legs, spider legs. This is absolutely brilliant. I love it. And okay, it gives a lot of value to the previous enhancements that gives you on a 4+ plus 1 CP, because damn, you want all of them. Opportunistic escalation. Your shooting phase just after an enemy unit has shot. If units in your army have hostile acquisition again, so okay, you still really want to be in hostile acquisition. Is there a way to spend yield points? Yes, there. But yeah, you're really gonna want to spend yield points or have a Memnyr at some point. So your enemy shooting phase, if you're in hostile acquisition, 1 Leagues of Votann vehicle that is not an Hecaton Land Fortress, otherwise hit, can make a normal move of up to D6. Okay, I really wish you could also spend yield points to make it better, because spending 1 CP and then gaining 1 inch of movement happens way more often. Like for those of us kid that play with the Yaegirs, you know, the active movement, it's always then that you make a 1. But being able to move your Sagittors, for example, either to hide, either to get closer to the unit because you want to disembark some Berserks later, is good. Not the best stratagems. It can save you sometimes if the enemy is not careful with its how he organizes his shooting. But the fact that it's D6 without ways to stabilize makes me say, eh. Illuminated Priority, I think it's 1 CP. Yeah, it looks like 1 CP. Your shooting phase, just after your vehicle has shot, you target your vehicle. If 1 enemy unit has been hit by those attacks, until the end of the phase, any Leagues of Votann infantry model that target that units reroll a hit roll of 1. So, okay, very good. I saw that a few things have natively rerolls of 1. So, first of all, thank you, Games Workshop. But being able to give a +1 reroll to the hit roll no, sorry, +1 to hit on the objective, and then maybe even rerolling hit rolls of 1 for all your infantry. And remember, you have quite a bit of very powerful infantry, Hearthguards, Thunderkyns, Steeljacks now, all of this, only for shooting, by the way. Oh no, also for melee, my bad, guys. This is a good thing. Like, if there is a unit that you're gonna focus your firepower on, 1 CP to give full reroll of 1s for to hit for everyone is worth it. Vengeance Flare 2 CP, oh, it better be very good. Let me see. Your opponent's shooting phase after an enemy unit has shot, okay. Select an enemy unit, an infantry unit that was hit by 1 or more of this attack. Okay, there we're going. You can spend 2 yield points, then you select 1 friendly Kapricus or Sagittor within 6 of your infantry. If you spent the yield points, you can even select a Hecaton Land Fortress instead, okay? So base any transport, otherwise for 2 yield points, it's an Hecaton. And then, wait, what? The selected unit can shoot as if it were your shooting phase. Oh my god, okay, I thought it was going to be re-embark. Absolutely not. It's like your enemy shoots at your infantry with the sustained hits and stuff, with the maybe free overwatch and everything. If the enemy shoots at you, then your Sagittor, which has good firepower, or Kapricus, or your Hecaton Land Fortress, yes please, can fire like if it were your shooting phase. Wow! Okay, 2 CP, good. But damn, this is gonna be, all stratagems are amazing. You're really gonna want a lot of CPs for that. But wow! I cannot tell you how overjoyed I am by this detachment. It is exactly how I wanted to play it, how I dreamt it would be. You have your infantry, not to disembark, charge, re-embark, like Templars do or whatever. You go there, you disembark, and then it's a combined arms where the infantry moves on just next to your Sagittor or your Hecaton and everything, giving each other fire support, covering fire. Banger. Straight up banger. I love this. Thank you very much, Games Workshop. As soon as I finish recording the video, I will order myself a 3rd, 4th Sagittor and maybe 4 Kapricus instead of 2, because apparently they're in units. Oh my god, which makes me say, by the way, I said not for the Kapricus, but Kapricus can be in packs of 2, so having both of them shooting at the same time if they are defenders, love it very much. I am extremely happy that this gameplay is unlocked for the Leagues of Votann. Amazing. Okay, Dêlve Shoal Shift. It looks very fun as well. It's the Berserk detachment. We'll have to see. Berserks have Deep Strike, incredible. Nothing else to say. You can make some Rapid Ingress, you can Deep Strike, you can have 60 Berserks if you want. Right now I have like 15. I need to go at least to 20 to play this detachment, but still great. You have Battle Line, amazing. Let's have a look. Dêlve. Isn't it the name of a German band of techno music? Dêlve. Ah, yeah, whatever. Navigator. Leagues of Votann model only, okay. In the reinforcement step of your movement phase, the bearer can use these enhancements. Select 1 friendly Cthonian Berserk unit visible. Yeah, it makes me say that maybe we're not going to be able still to attach people to Berserks. So you select a unit visible, no range, and then you spend any number of yield point. You can oh my god, you can return 1 destroyed model to that unit, and then for every 2 yield point, 1 additional model. What? Did I read that right? Did I just read that it's a free revive a Berserk, and then you can spend yield points to revive, I don't know, 5 Berserks if you want in the unit? Yes, I think it's what I just read. Okay, we'll have to see the new stat line of the Berserks. I had a quick look. I saw there are 1 wounds, feel no pain 4. But still, we'll have to see the price of this enhancement. But just being able to have a lot of Berserks around and saying, okay, this Berserk unit right there has been hit. 1 free model back. We'll have to see the points cut, of course, of the Berserks themselves. And you know what? I spent 4 yield points, get me 2 more because I'm going to have a charge. And it can get you closer to a charge. This is banger. This is absolutely incredible. I love this very much. Multi-wave system jammer. Once per battle, movement phase for your... if the bearer is on the battlefield, it can use these enhancements. Okay, anywhere. If it does, select 1 Cthonian unit that is in reserve. Remember, Deep Strike. Until the end of the phase, treat the current battle round as 1 higher than it actually is. Okay. What can I say? This is another incredible thing. I like that they say like it brings it closer. It allows to blind the foe to the bearer's closing Chthonian allies, because technically the Chthonian mining guilds are allies. You don't control them so much. Like there is like another guild. Love that they are allies, so you don't attach yourself to units, but you can still direct them. This Berserk Horde. But this is a stratagem. Like you, sometimes it's stratagem. Here it's an enhancement. We know how good it is. You can deep strike one like turn one if you want, and turn two you can be in your opponent's backyard. Incredible. Like this is very good. We know this already. Quake Supervisor, another enhancement, Leagues of Votann motel only, and not Leagues of Motels. While the bearer is within 3 inches of one or more Leagues of Votann artillery units, or the Earthshakers, you have lone operative, okay, and each time one of those artillery unit makes a ranged attack, add 1 to the hit roll if you target someone that is visible to the bearer. Okay, that is nice. We know that it allows you to shoot at someone that is not on an objective, or while you are not still yet in the defend, like fortify acquisition mode. Because the problem with artillery is they hit on 5+ if they don't benefit for the +1 to hit from shooting on an objective, or later on from being on an objective. So this is good. This is good, and you have lone operative, so you can really put him like visible, let's say, or something. Yeah, this is good. It makes your artillery work. I was hoping for the deep strike at 6 and still charge with the artillery, but still fine, still good. We'll have to see the price, but it's good. And also if you have 2 packs of artillery, so one of them shoots on one of them can be deployed on an objective and shoot an objective, and later on will have the +1 to hit because it is on your deployments zone objective, and you can have another unit of artillery a little bit more exposed somewhere else, not exposed but hidden, and to be sure that they can still shoot at 4+, which they absolutely want. Great. The Pile Driver, also a relic from the 9th edition. Any Leagues of Votann model, still no, unfortunately, Berserk Lord. Each time the bearer's unit is selected to fight, you can use these enhancements. If it does, spend up to 2 yield points until the end of the phase. Add the number of yield points to the damage characteristic of the bearer's melee weapon. Okay, not the whole unit, but only the bearers. Great for damage 1, which you can put damage 3 for the axe and stuff. Like if you do this on a hammer of the champion, it's going to be overkill, probably. But if you do this, if you switch a weapon from 1 damage to 3 damage, let me tell you that Terminators don't look at you the same at all. Good enhancements. Well, at least the price cost, but sounds very fun. Costs some yield points. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the stratagem Cyber Steam Infusion. Isn't it part of the datasheet of the Berserks? Okay, we'll have to see. Fight phase, you select a Cthonian Berserk unit that has not fought yet. It's for 1 CP. You can spend 2 yield points. Each time you attack, reroll wound rolls of 1. And if you spend 2 yield points, full reroll of the wounds. Amazing. I don't know what to say. Like, just rerolls of 1 is fine. But of course, full reroll, incredible. Probably you're going to spend the 2 yield points, but maybe sometimes you're really going to be low on the resources and stuff. But reroll of 1 is fine. And if you are wounding on a 4+ or 5+, full reroll of the wounds on weapons that are probably still going to be damage 3. That's really good. Tectonic Fracture, for your Cthonian Earthshakers. After you have shot with your artillery, you can spend 2 yield points, select 1 enemy unit that was hit. You subtract 2 from the move characteristic, and very good. And if you spend the 2 yield points, subtract 2 from the charge rolls. That is great. You can only spend 1 CP in the beginning of the game shooting far so they don't deploy. Could be good if it was for 2 yield points, charge roll and advance rolls. Might have been too strong, or charge or advance, like give us a choice at least. And then of course, if there is a unit that wants to charge you and you want your berserks who only move 5 inch to be able to fight first, then for sure 1 CP, -2 movement, -2 to the charge roll, it's -4 to the overall charge. If it allows your big pack of 10 berserks to not be charged but to charge first, this is the best CP you will ever spend. Really good stratagem. Unstoppable Force, fight phase. I'm waiting to have, please, a 2 CP fight first or fight on death, please. So right now, Unstoppable Force, 1 CP, fight phase, Leagues of Votann that is fighting, can consolidate and pile in from 6 inches instead of 3. So kind of similar to the Hearthband, very good for pro players, and it can really be good for big packs of Berserks and stuff. Still not the one you will use every single time, but for slow units, it's still, like, good players will make the most of it. Other, more beginning players will be very happy just to have full reroll of the wound rolls. The Weavework Buttress. Your opponent's shooting phase, if you are still in the basic aggressive hostile acquisition mode, one infantry that was targeted, -1 to the wound roll. Amazing. Of course, you're going to want to put this on your Berserks if it makes sense, but also on things that, like Hearthkyn, maybe not, Hearthguards, Thunderkyn, Steeljacks. Then, yeah, that's going to be very, very good for them. I kind of wish this detachment also boosted the melee Steeljacks as well. Still, it's a good thing when you want the -1 to wound and you are not yet in the good doctrine, let's say. Augmented Assault, 1 CP, movement phase, 1 Cthonian Berserk that did not move yet. Okay, you can spend 2 heal points. Until the end of the turn, add X to the move characteristic, where X is the number of heal points you spend, and you can advance and charge. Oh, what? Okay. Eva, you remember what we said when Berserks really want to charge first? Well, this 1 CP advanced charge, I would be happy already for Berserks, absolutely. But this is like 1 CP, and then you can spend 2 heal points to gain +2 to move. So you become from 5 inch of movement and maybe a 2d6 charge. You become 7 inch of movement, then you advance, and then you charge. So that is a significant range increase, and if your enemy was far and you already put in -2 to move, -2 to charge, it really allows you to be sure that you can engage with the Berserks on your own terms. And finally, Hidden Access Way, end of your opponent's fight phase, Berserks, Hearthkyn, or Yaegirs can basically go back to strategic reserves. Okay, that is nice. That is nice to have access to this for Berserks. Like, they arrive somewhere from Deep Strike, somehow they manage their charge, maybe they have rapid ingress or something, and now they're in the middle of the enemy lines. You don't want to die, you go back to reserve. Very good. Damn, those detachments are great. We'll talk about it more when we talk about the Berserks stat lines, but it's like, do I really want to have 60 Berserks in my collection? Maybe yes, maybe no. If you have a lot of money to spend and you want to have armored Berserks, look at my previous videos to convert Hearthkyn's Warriors into Berserks. They look brilliant, I think, and like it's not that hard a conversion. Yes, you need to buy Hearthkyn's, but still it's very good. Have a look. I think it can reconcile you with the Berserks if you don't like the appearance. And we finish the detachment with the Hearthfyre Arsenal for your Thunderkyn and Steeljacks, apparently, from the teasers we had. At the end of your command phase, you gain 1 heal points for any objective marker not in your deployment zone with an Iron-Master or a Strategist in it to a maximum of 2 heal points. So, okay, 1 Memnyr that is going to be with the Steeljacks in the middle, of course, 1 heal point. The Iron-Master in a big pack of Thunderkyn, 1 heal point per turn. Very good. You're gonna have a lot of heal points probably with this detachment. And in your shooting phase, each time a Brôkyr, Steeljacks, or Arkanyst is selected to shoot, you can spend 1 heal point. If you do, you have a reroll of 1s to hit. So okay, you have a lot of heal points, but you have to spend them to reroll hit rolls of 1. Okay. Maybe you guys could have just given full rerolls of 1 to hit to those units, and we would have been fine. But okay, fine, but at least you have agency to be able to use your heal points on something else. Enhancements. Far Stride Node. Your Iron-Master or Memnyr Strategist gain Deep Strike for the unit. So you can Deep Strike Thunderkyns, fine. You can Deep Strike a big pack of Steeljacks with melee, so rapid ingress. Yay! And of course you can Deep Strike also the Steeljacks with the Volkites that can have a free Overwatch. Oh my god. Free Overwatch. At what point rapid ingress is? Is it at any point during the movement phase? Let me check. Guys, I need to check. Rapid ingress. Okay, Rapid Ingress is at the end of the movement phase, so you cannot do this to really threaten the enemy. But still, you can Rapid Ingress once you know the enemy has moved, advanced, etc. To have a big pack of 6 Steeljacks with the Memnyr. We're making those attacks on 5+ of Overwatch for free, maybe 4+ if it's late in the game and you manage to have enough heal points, which you can with your little Iron-Master and Memnyr on objectives. And then you're like, okay, charge. You thought you had an easy charge. Actually, I'm gonna have 6 Steeljacks making 36 hits, attacks, which means 18 hits on you. Are you sure you want to charge? Think again. So really good. Calculated Tenacity, Iron-Master or Memnyr, +1 to the objective control of models in this unit. Fine. Quite good on melee units if you want to really play the primary on Steeljacks with melee weapons. Mantle of Elders, Memnyr Strategist only. Each time this the unit is selected to shoot, if you spent heal points to gain a reroll of 1 to hit, you can roll a d6, and on a top 2+, it's free. Okay, actually I think on Steeljacks with shooting that will want to do that, depends on the price, but it's going to be almost an auto-include. And Graviton Vault for your Iron-Master because it has Graviton weapons. In your shooting phase after it has shot, and in the fast phase after you have fought, select one monster or vehicle that was hit, and then it's suppressed, and until the start of your next turn, this vehicle or this monster gets -1 to hit. Nice, we'll have to see the price, but I mean, it's not insane. There are some conditions and stuff, and we'll see the range of the Iron-Master as well, but still good. Hearthfyre number 2. Let's have a look at the stratagems. I'm very excited. I love Thunderkyn. I really want to be able to use Thunderkyn efficiently. I actually like Steeljacks as well. So far it's okay. I will see the datasheet because this so far is not like the Hernkyn detachment and stuff. It's not like, okay, your units are weak. Here are things to make them crazy because their datasheet is bad. Here I feel that they're quite conservative because the datasheets are very strong already. We'll have to see. Everything is going to be toughness 6 already, I've just realized, but damn. Let's see if the stratagems are good. Unwavering Accuracy, Brôkyr Thunderkyn unit that has not shot yet until the end of the phase. Each time you attack, you can ignore modification to the ballistic skills, hit rolls, wound rolls, and AP. So no armor of content, no nothing. You shoot at full capacity. Good. But it's 2 CP. Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, if you have a big pack of 6 Thunderkyn with your Iron-Master, you're shooting at an enemy that has stealth, armor of contempt, everything, and -1 to wound roll and everything. Okay, sure. Then fine. It's good. Otherwise, a 2 CP, I'm not sure you're going to use it that often. There's going to be this specific Space Marine unit with armor of contempt that you're going to be very happy to use it on. Otherwise, Wall of Steel, your charge phase after your Ironkin Steeljacks unit finished a charge move, okay, so probably your melee unit. You use this stratagem up to, you can spend 2 heal points, you select one enemy unit except monsters and vehicle, probably mortal wounds. You roll a d6 for each model, and if you spend 2 heal points, you have 2 additional d6. And then for each 4+, you make 1 mortal wound. So you can be up to 8 d6 on a 4+, so 4 mortal wounds. Sure, it's fine. Like it's good. It's good for the melee if you have enemies with a high toughness and save and everything, and you're like, okay, I want to weaken them with some good mortal wounds. Okay, it's fine. First concern. Your shooting phase after Brôkyr, Steeljacks, or Arkanyst Evaluator have shot, then that unit can make a normal move if it did not move before. So, okay, if you move and shoot, it doesn't work, but if you didn't move, you shoot, then you can spend 1 CP and move, probably to get out of charge range. It's only going to be efficient for Arkanyst Evaluator, for example, if you want to shoot at full power in the rapid fire range, but still want to move in order to make sure that you did not blow yourself up with your Azados. So yeah, it's situational. I do see moments where moving out of charge range would get you out of shooting range with some units or with the Arkanyst good range, etc. And then you want to spend 1 CP to shoot after movement. A bit expensive, but there will be times where this is going to be useful. Preventative Purge, your opponent's movement phase after an enemy made a fallback move, then you choose one Thunderkyn or Ironkin Steeljacks unit from your army. It can shoot as if it were the shooting phase. What? What? When doing so, models in your unit can only target that enemy unit, and you have -1 to your hit roll. Sure, but it's like free firing solution. So you have your 6 Thunderkyn or your 6 Steeljack with Volkites. The enemy was in melee with your melee Steeljacks, for example. It disengages. You're like, oh, wait a minute, full firepower at -1 to hit roll, but it can be compensated by +1 if the Iron-Master still gives it and stuff. Okay, this is something you're gonna try to trigger a lot because a free shooting phase on a big pack of giant mechs. Yes, please. Cogitated Need, end of your opponent's movement phase, you select Ironkin Steeljacks, which can move, but it must end closer to the as close as possible to the closest objective marker. There is no other condition. Like, okay, no condition. End of your opponent's movement phase, your Steeljack, one Steeljack, can just make a normal move towards the closest objective. But it's gonna be amazing to contest objective, like, okay, no matter what happens, at the end of your movement phase, I'm moving. So it's because of the trigger, you even evade some Overwatch and stuff. Extremely good. And last one, delayed fire rounds, your shooting phase after your 3 units have shot. Then select 1 unit except monster infantry that were hit. Until the start of your next shooting phase, each time they make a normal, advanced, or fallback move, roll a d6, and then for each one, they suffer a mortal wound. So you make them the threat of mortal wounds where they move. Again, it's a shooty detachment of infantry. It's good to have options to make your opponent not want to move, or at least get some losses when he gets to you to charge you. All right, so overall, what do I actually think of those detachments before we go to the units? I am absolutely in adoration of the Brandfast Oathband. I am extremely excited to try all of this. Like, I mean, it seems so good and thematic and fun, and I just love this very much. I just had a quick check, and Iron-Master gains lone operative when he's next to the little hackathon, for example, or whatever. So being able to heal a flat 4 all the time without being targetable is great. Even as a lone character that is not leading something, I mean, amazing. Stratagems are great. The Dêlve actual shift is, I mean, Berserks are interesting. Do you want to have 60 Berserks? Because then it's going to be very strong. But otherwise, I think it's too much of a skew list for a unit I'm not a huge fan of. And then I'm like, guys, like, I'm not 100% sure. It is very fun. If you want to make Berserks work, it absolutely makes them work. But I think you need at least 30 Berserks. Maybe like 6 times 5 Berserks, for example. And then you play MSU and deep striking around and stuff. But let's be honest, guys, except if you love Berserks, in this sense, go wild. But if otherwise, don't buy 60 Berserks for a detachment that allows you to play 60. Just because Games Workshop tell you so. 12th edition arrives. And who knows, maybe there's going to be a new index and stuff. So we're not sure you're going to be able to play 60 Berserks for the many years to come. It takes a while to paint them and to convert them if you want. So yeah, be careful with that, Ken. The Hearthfyre, I will try to make it work. I mean, there are things, and the datasheets are good. I just checked, it's our only source of toughness 6, because yes, spoiler, Hearthguards are now toughness 5. So there is a play here. It seems interesting. It's not overpowered, but I will try to make it work. If you want to play a lot of robots, and I mean, who doesn't, playing 36 Steeljacks and 18 Thunderkyn is fun, says the guy who just said don't buy 60 Berserk. But I mean, just 12 Steeljacks of each type and 12 Thunderkyn, it's already a big funky theme list, and it's things that you will always need at some point in your collection. 12 Steeljacks of one type or another, or even just magnetize the arms, and 12 Thunderkyns. So yeah, absolutely worth a try. The basic Oathband, you can play a little bit of everything. It's still as good as before, and with the new army rule, it's maybe even better actually. So excited to try this as well. And the Persecution Prospect, again, amazing. Do you want to have 30 Yaegirs? Because now I absolutely do. And it's not only Hernkyn, only Yaegirs. It boosts your Pioneers as well. It boosts your Kapricus. I mean, it's really good, and boosts your other infantry. It seems to be the tricky detachment with a lot of movement and stuff. And I think at pro playing level, It lacks some brute force, but under the hands of a good player, it will absolutely be very strong. And now, Kin, we are switching to the units after having seen the detachment. As you can see, it's a brand new day, so I did not manage to release it on the day of the leaks, unfortunately. But at least it's going to be on the next one. Sorry for that. But as you know, it's not at all my job, and life made it so that I could not release it on time. However, what it did give me is a time to find the points, which I did not have when I talked about the detachment. Nothing crazy, nothing super surprising, except the Steeljacks being a bit cheaper than I expected. And it allows me to make some basic slides in 30 minutes to gather everything, so we can see the old and the new datasheets with the points. I think it's going to be more convenient like this. Also, I saw the first few reviews from other influencers, some of them French, some of them calling it the worst Codex of 10th edition. It made me very upset because I think it's really good. And yes, it changed. It's not anymore the raw power of having super good stats and +1 hit, +1 wound. But I really think there are some very interesting things, both in terms of flavor. And if you tell me otherwise, I will say like you're just flat out wrong. And in terms of power, this is more debatable, and we'll see it in a minute. We're going to start with the Kâhl. Let's do it fast. Like many things did not change, so we'll not focus on this. You know, you knew the Kâhl. We used to get it for the lethal hit capacity, which did not change at all. And however, there is no more grim efficiency, of course, like because obviously it's not possible anymore. And what changed is now it's called seized opportunity, and seized opportunity makes it so that when you destroy a unit, an enemy unit with the Kâhl's unit, then you gain 1 yield point. I think it's nice. I think it's nice. And as we will see, the Hearthguards became quite a bit cheaper, especially in big packs of 10, even though they got some nerfs on the side, but they got significantly cheaper. And I think a big pack of 10 Hearthguards with little hits and the Kâhl are going to once again be on the menu, Kin. Apart from that, nothing much have changed. The point is still 70 points, leading still the very same unit, Hearthkyn or Hearthguards. Hearthkyn is going to be probably very interesting to lead them in the Hearthband detachment, the one from Christmas, which might get a rework because some things just flat out don't work anymore. But otherwise, giving your Hearthkyn +1, rerolling ones to hit and +1 AP is great. I just realized they have a rerolling ones to, like the Hearthband detachment is going to be reworked anyway. Apart from this, still a good hero, especially now that the unit he leads became cheaper, and getting 1 yield point is always appreciated. The Einhyr Champion became more expensive, unfortunately. He went from 60 to 70 points, and he lost a point of toughness. So this, I understand why people would be like, okay, this is a nerf, and okay, but it was so good. We played 3 of the champion in our list, so maybe it did deserve a bit nerf. He also, like, since you get rerolling charges in your base rule, army roll, now it's only +1 to advance and +1 to charge roll. So that is really good for the charge, for example, because now in the beginning of the game, while you are in hostile acquisition, you will be able to reroll charges and get +1 to charge. So that starts to be really reliable, especially when you do mortal wounds on the impact. And +1 advance, I'm not sure it can lead someone with advanced charge. Only Beserks, if I remember, with a stratagem in their detachment, can have advance and charge. Otherwise, it would be very, very strong, but still appreciable. The one big thing that we can see is that he got another point of AP on both his melee profile, the Darkstar Axe and the Mass Hammer. Both of them go from AP -2 to AP -3, which is really good. Actually, this might make me say like, okay, he's less tough, for sure, toughness 5 instead of toughness 6. Quite a few times it's going to be a difference of +1 to wood. Sure, not always though. But getting this extra melee damage is absolutely great, especially on big, powerful weapons. And remember that in some detachments you can boost, for example, the Darkstar Axe up to damage 5. So 6 attacks at damage 5, AP -3 and strength 6 is going to do business. Another thing is that you will see the Terminators maybe now want to spread their invulnerable. Maybe yes, maybe no. And with the champion not being a lone champion doing duels left and right anymore, maybe you don't want him to have the 4+ invul anymore, and you might give him the deep strike. At least you have a choice now, which is interesting. So side grade, let's say, less tanky, more offensive oriented, and +1 to charge when you can reroll them is really great. The Grimnyr stayed at the same point cost, and this guy changed quite a bit, not only on his weapons profile, we know it, we love it, it was already quite good, but on his role. It's not the unit that he leads, that he can unbattle shock, it's any unit within 12 inch of the Grimnyr's model. So it can be your unit, it can be another unit. So boost on this side. Also, it does not give +1 toughness anymore, which would be sad to have Hearthkyn tougher than Hearthguard, but it does give Feel No Pain 5+. Don't get too excited, we'll see that Hearthkyn now have inbuilt in their datasheet and not as an equipment, the 6+ Feel No Pain, which means it's only a +1 Feel No Pain. Still nice, I wish we could give them a little bonus more, but and especially that we could play them by 20, which we still cannot. We could in 9th edition, not anymore. For 65 points is a good boost for Hearthkyn unit. Is it going to be auto-include? I'm not sure. I really wish we could bring him in Hearthguard units to give them 5+ Feel No Pain. This would be not OP, I think, but still very, very good. Overall, I just realized, does it? Yes, they have the little unit composition note, luckily for us. It's not my favorite. Like, I love the model. You've seen my converted one with the arc under, but 5+ Feel No Pain on units that are still toughness 5 and either are quite tough and now also get a 5+ invuln. It can make them extremely annoying to deal with. So not a bad choice, not meta-defining, but for those like me who love the model, I think I will try a couple games at least to see how he behaves in a game before putting it on the shelf. The Brôkyr Iron-Master. Okay, this one changed quite a bit. It gained +10 points, so it's more expensive. Okay. The Graviton rifle and the Graviton hammer changed also significantly, going from anti-vehicle 2+ to anti-vehicle 3+, but also anti-monster 3+. So that's a straight-up boost in my mind. At least I played a couple times against Tyranid monster that were toughness 10, 12 and stuff. And when your only anti-vehicle is like, did you forget that it's supposed to be anti-monster? Now it's been fixed, finally. Another change, significant change, is that you used to give +1 to the hit roll with your visor. Now it's rerolling wound rolls of 1. But you can get the +1 to hit roll anyway from other sources, so it's fine. You do gain something else. You do gain lone operative when you are within 3 inches of a vehicle or Ironkin Steeljacks. That's actually not bad at all. If you just keep one little Iron-Master, not in a pack of Brôkyr, but for example, just walking around Neckaton Lane Fortress, well, he's lone operative. Again, that's nothing at all. Even if you start in a pack of Thunderkyn in the vehicle detachment to make your free overwatches and stuff, and the entire unit gets wiped out, you still have a few cogs to make sure you don't die straight away. And then you can stay lone operative next to your Hecaton. So actually, I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. And we'll see the Hecaton has more place now, so you can absolutely put 6 Brôkyr plus the Iron-Master, which counts as one spot seat, and the assistant another seat. You are at 14 on the clock, which is the new capacity of the Hecaton Land Fortress. It's like they thought about it before. So I'm really excited to have this big pack in my vehicle detachment. Apart from this, it can still repair exactly the same capacity, except it can repair the Steeljacks now as well. We've seen you can get +1 to heal in the detachment. Sure. Can lead the same units. Hearthkyn, probably don't. And Thunderkyn, which is absolutely where you want him, to give them rerolling 1s to wound. I still think one of them is going to be auto-include, especially in the vehicle detachment, and also in the Hearthfyre Thunderkyn Steeljacks detachment as well, maybe 2 even then. And yeah, really happy. I loved them before. I still love them. And if you want ideas of conversion, in my previous videos, I converted this guy. So he has actually the Thunderkyn Exo armor as well, with the hammer in the hand and the rifle in the back. But take a look. I think it might interest you to do something similar. We switch now to the Memnyr Strategist and the Arkanyst Evaluator. So the Memnyr Strategist, toughness 5, 4 wounds. He has 0 damage capacity. What he does, it's very simple. It's 45 points, good, because it's basically a glorified unit upgrade. He gives you +1 or -1 yield point, depending on your need, when the Memnyr is on an objective. So I think you can even put him at the end of your command phase. Yeah, you can even turn 1, you can do this and gain a first yield points in the very beginning. That's actually nice. And you also buy him especially as a free Fire Overwatch stratagem for your Steeljacks with the Volcanite Disintegrators or Heroic Intervention, but I prefer Overwatch. You're going to put 6 Steeljacks with Volcanite Disintegrators. We're going to see them in a second. It's going to be an insane volume of attack. They're going to hit on 5+, maybe even 4+ on their Overwatch. It's going to be for free. And then on their turn, they're going to shoot again. It's really, really good to have this capacity for free. And this is what you're paying for. And on top of that, some detachment are very yield points hungry. And this will allow you to just gather more. So 45 points, I think it shouldn't be costing more, but it looks cool. And if you have a pack of 6 Steeljacks, either in melee to make heroic interventions and has a defensive line, or as a fire overwatch linchpin, I think you take a Memnyr Strategist. And finally, as another unit, the Arkanyst Evaluator. This guy, first of all, when he dies, he has Deadly Demise 1. It's just always fun. This guy has a very powerful weapon if you boost it, but basically he has 3 capacities of attacks. We've talked about it when we got the leaks of the weapon profile, so I'm not going to spend too much time. Basically, the basic weapon profile is very weak. You do no damage at all, and for 65 points, you don't want him to do that ever, except if you absolutely need him to stay alive and you want to shoot. But he has lone operative, by the way, when he is within 3 of any Leagues of Votann infantry, sure. Middle power, it's basically 5 attacks at mid-range, which is going to be within 9, otherwise it shoots up to 18. Strength 8, AP minus 2, damage 2. Good against Space Marines, but sure, it's not terrible. And then when he really punches hard, 24 range, rapid fire 3, so 6 attacks within 12. Ballistic skills 2, strength 8 still, but now AP minus 3, damage 3. So you can really start to hunt. Very powerful unit. Even blade guards in cover are absolutely not going to appreciate the joke like at all. I think hunting blade guards really put in cover to put them on their invulnerable save, and one of them dies each time he loses a save, is actually a reasonable use of an Arkanyst Evaluator. His special rule is Resource Transmutation. Basically, you give him Sustained at 1, which if you make 6 attacks starts to be a really good volume of fire. And you spend 1 yield point. But if you destroy a unit, or multiple, for every unit that you kill, up to 2, don't think it's going to be more, you gain 1 yield point. So for example, you shoot at the already a little bit damaged pack of 3 blade guards with a sergeant inside, like a little lieutenant or whatever. If you kill both of them because you were a little bit lucky and he was not very hot on his roll, which can happen, then you gain 2 yield points back. It is interesting. 65 points, sure. As you have seen, I gave you conversion ideas in the previous video. I think if you have 65 points and you want some extra threat to walk next to your Hearthkyn or your Thunderkyns and stuff and give them some anti-heavy infantry fire support, sure, but remember that if you put the full power mode, you have 1 chance, like you have 50% chance of straight up losing 3 wounds with mortal wounds with overload, being a boosted hazardous, basically. And if you lose it twice, you're basically dead. So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this Skavenish, orcish technology, but it seems fun. And isn't this what we want for narrative, fun games? I'm absolutely gonna bring him out because it's always a fun moment when you roll those dice. Like even your opponent, if he lets you make your shooting phase without paying much attention, when this guy shoots, everybody goes around the table to see how it happens. Next, we have Ûthar the Destined and Buri Aegnirssen, our 2 named heroes, so we get a new one. For Ûthar, I'll be honest, I loved it in 9th edition when you could convert automatically a railgun to be a devastating wound. This was amazing. Please give it back to us at some point. But unfortunately, it was really terrible in for all of 10th edition. They got a little bit more play with a Hearthband detachment where you want as many calls as you could, and he also got better rerolls, better AP and everything. It was good. It was good to lead a little pack of Hearthkyn to make like almost like Beserks. So right there. However, he really changed in his capacity. He doesn't have the Destined capacity to not be one-shot by weapons, which is sad. He can still get a modifier roll of 6 for hit, wound, or a saved, and that's quite nice because you roll your saves, for example, and then you can decide depending on your roll. Okay, this roll I turn it from a 1 to a 6, and then you make your save. So it's nice. I would actually rather use it for a save than just to make 2 mortal wounds, maybe. because his capacity is what you want now. Grim efficiency. You choose a Leagues of Votann unit within 12 inches of this model when you target it with a stratagem. Can be anything. Can be a vehicle, can be a unit. Doesn't have to be the unit that he's leading. So amazing. And you reduce the cost of the stratagem by once per turn. So it can make you save, if he stays alive, up to 5 command points over the course of the game. This is a great ability. It's quite rare to be able to do that. So he's at 80 points, still a Kâhl. He does not give you, unfortunately, would be able to include otherwise, lethal hits, but as a little unit leading Hearthkyn or Hearthguards, maybe even Hearthkyn as a little unit to save, I think I would really be happy to have this guy in the middle of my battle line. Do note that it doesn't say that the unit needs to be visible, so even if he's just alone and you put him hidden or something, he can give this little aura, even though I'll probably want to have him accompanied by some Hearthkyn with a feel no pain and stuff. Yeah, probably it's gonna be the best way. Buri Aegnirssen, 110 points, our most expensive character, but oh boy, do you get a lot for that. Kâhl stat line, 3+ save, 4+ invul, toughness 6, however, so higher than Hearthguards now, but he's almost bionics, and indeed it's kind of like Berserk stat lines, since he has all these bionics. He has stealth, very good, low operative, incredible, and he's a brute in melee. The shooting is anecdotal. What he gets, two things. When he dies on a 2+, he pops back up on the end of the phase with full wounds, so 5 wounds back. Amazing. Of course, you're going to be extremely sad when you roll a 1, but let me tell you, your opponent will be very happy. So try to be happy for them, I guess. But yeah, it's still a very good capacity. And he has a surge. If he loses any wound and he's not dead, he can make a surge of d6+2, and it can get him into melee range. So between stealth, lone operative especially, and this surge, it's going to be a nightmare to deal with him. You can put him like on the edge of an objective and telling to the opponent, okay, I'm only OC1, that's true. But either you charge me, sure, then I come back up at the end of the phase if you kill me in melee, and then I will punch you very hard. Okay. If you shoot me, you'd better kill me, because otherwise I surge on your unit that was on the objective and I punch you again. And there is no right answer on how to deal with this guy. For 110 points, he's really a real headache maker for your opponent, because you get 5 attacks, weapon skills 2, strength 12, AP 3 damage, flight 3 with precision. I mean, nobody's laughing when he's facing that. Not a vehicle, not a big pack of elite units, not a character in a big pack. Like, nobody laughs. Or if someone tries to swarm you with the guardsmen or termagants, you have 10 attacks, strength 6, AP -2, damage 1. So even orc boys, you deal with them, termagants and guardsmen, of course. Like, it's just an amazing character overall. Like, paint your character good, guys, because if he doesn't get nerfed, even if he gets a bit nerfed in terms of points later on, which I'm sure it will happen because it's quite good like this, even if it happens, it's still going to be one of the key tools of your equipment for the entirety of the edition, like what is left. I think you get him in your list every single time, except if you have a very specific SEO list, because he just gives you so much tactical possibilities and is such a thorn in the side of your opponent. 100%, like 10 out of 10 would buy it again if I didn't buy it yet. The Hearthkyn Warriors, one of my favorite units. I just love how they look. Like this exact miniature, which was the first Votann miniature revealed, is what made me sell all my other armies and keep only the Leagues of Votann for 40k. I absolutely love those guys. They're still 100 points, and they got many interesting things. They still have sticky objective, with some like can be taken back at the end of any phase instead of the turn. Doesn't change much concretely. They do not have any more ignore cover, which is sad. There is one way to get ignore cover with your Thunderkyn, we'll see later, but otherwise the army as a whole lost a lot of ignore cover. Sad. What they did get, and I'm very happy, is two things. The stat lines of the weapons are all the same. What they gained was two things. First of all, the Feel No Pain 6+ is not with the medic anymore, so it cannot die. Usually the medic was the last one to die, but it cannot be taken out. And if you split, which you often do, both packs of 5 Hearthkyn will have the Feel No Pain. Amazing. And the last thing that they get is the Conspectral Scanning. You don't have ignore cover, but you reroll once to hit for everyone. Great. For both packs. And the last very funky thing that you get is the We Feel crest of the Thane. It means that you have a 5-up invuln on your pack, period, until the Thane is dead. So if you split, only one pack will have the 5-up invuln. Still, if you go charging big games, that's what you want. Does it make you want to play big packs? I think I have 40 or 50 Hearthkyn, I think. I'm seriously considering having 50 of those bodies on the table. I mean, 50 body at save at 4+, 3+ in cover, 5-up invuln, 6+ feel no pain, toughness 5. Wow. And you can put 1 pack or 3 with feel no pain 5+. I mean, those guys are absolutely annoying to deal with. Yes, they're more expensive than guardsmen, and they don't have a crazy firepower, but they are useful with their special weapons. I think we can imagine again a dwarf tide of 60 Hearthkyn with all their feel no pains everywhere now. 5-up invuln, great. And even the 5-up feel no pain, if you really want to lean into this playstyle, even though it's almost like 65% more expensive just to gain the feel no pain and a couple corves to tank. Is it worth it? No, maybe. But yeah, if it were 4-up feel no pain with the Grimnyr, I would say yes. It would make them very annoying, and then you would be happy to pay 65 or even 80. 65 for a 5-up? I'm not sure. Grimnyr or no Grimnyr, even with a Kâhl, sometimes they can get +1 AP in the right detachment, which is amazing, even though they do not gain technically the benefit of rolling once to hit because they have it innately. I'm not sure how to pronounce it in English. And so Hearthband detachment is fine, but no matter your detachment, they're always going to be good. Packs of 10, packs of 5. This is the core of your army. You can spam them. I think they're going to be efficient. You can take 60 and just make little packs of 5 around that will require a stupid amount of firepower to deal with, to just kill the right amount. Or you can make big waves of 10 Hearthkyn, each of them with Grimnyrs. Also works. They really take the buffs really well. They have interesting weapons. I mean, what is not to like? I absolutely love our little Hearthkyns. The Yaegirs, our good old MVPs, they still have Infiltrator. Let me be very fast for old players. Yaegirs, still the same. Nothing changed. Same point costs, same weapons, same everything. So for those who don't know Votann's very much, they have Infiltration, so they're a pack of 10. They only have a 5-up save, Infiltration, very good melee, which is what you want usually. Either you have Shotgun, which might be nice in a second. We'll talk about why. But either they have Shotgun, 2 attacks, Strength 5, no AP, damage 1. Sure, fun with Assault, okay. Either, and they can have some special weapon, either they go all melee, and then they have each of them 2 attacks, strength 4, but AP -2, damage 1. So the melee is really threatening for it at 90 points. They take the buffs really well, and especially it's your source of infiltration. Used to be you wanted them to open the path for your bikes and your Sagittars. Your Sagittars sadly cannot scout anymore, but to open the path for your Pioneers and for your Kapricus now. I think they're still very, very good. We'll see that there is a unit that can carry some Yaegirs with open top, so they can shoot, and having like 3 shotguns and 2 special weapons shooting from Kapricus, that sounds really good. One weapon is anti-monster 3+, and anti-vehicle 3+, strength 6, we don't really care, AP -2, damage D6, so not ridiculous at all. And the other one is with a Magnecal Rifle, ignore cover precision, 1 shot, strength 5, AP 2, damage 2, so also interesting. And I am quite happy with those guys. They were still MVPs before, and nothing changed. They are still absolute killers and infiltrators. The Hearthguards. So maybe it's not the first review you see of the Leagues of Votann. You heard people crying about the Hearthguards. I am also sad for 2 things. It's a bit harder in the beginning of the game to get your -1 to wound, even though you can get it from the army hole now. Yes, sure. And the big thing, we got nerfed threefold. No, not threefold. First thing, we went from toughness 6 to toughness 5, and toughness 6 plus -1 to wound was so good. This is not the case anymore, so they are much more fragile. The grenade launcher has less die, and they went, nobody talks about it, but they went from strength 4 to strength 3, which is a big deal, especially when you don't have the +1 to wound. Even though I'm kind of happy myself to not have to throw like 60 dice anymore, because it took a while for negligible result. It was like low strength, you were wounding on 5s, no AP, like you did 2 wounds, so I'm very happy to throw 60 dice. So doesn't matter that much. The weapons, all of them are 24 inches, so nothing anymore at 18, which is really good. And the weapon that I really see myself taking now is the plasma gun with rapid fire 1 inbuilt, which, if I remember, I think the whole Hearthband detachment will be taken off, like it will be changed, because one of the stratagem gives you rapid fire 1 on your guns. Now you have it inbuilt, so I'm almost sure that the detachment is void. Like, so many things you gain from the detachment of the Hearthbands don't work anymore. So for those of you who are very sad about your Hearthguards, please wait to see how the Hearthband detachment will be reworked, because there is no way it stays the same. It will change, and we'll see the new combos and everything. Maybe they're gonna get +1 to hits. Maybe it's gonna give them +1 toughness or +2. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see what happens. They also get the rerolling ones to hit to the closest target, which is also something they get from the Hearthband. So both boosts are rapid fire 1, rerolling ones to hit on the closest target, are boosts that you had to take the detachment for before. So the detachment will change. So again, let's wait. Right now, if you play those guys in another detachment, they are still very good. They are not your anvil anymore. There are other units to do this very well. They are here to deep strike, rapid ingress, punch something very hard. They still take up too much place in the Ecatone Fortress, so that is a bit worse. And you cannot reroll wounds anymore to fish for your mortal wounds. So the game conceptor, the people that wrote the Codex is actually well written. So let's try together to listen to what they're trying to say with this Codex. They're trying to say, don't put 5 with a champion in an Ecatone Fortress anymore. You have other things that you really want to do instead. What you want to do with the Hearthguards is what they were supposed to do, to deep strike, teleport, rapid ingress, and then do damage with their Ecatone Plasma Gun, with their punching, with everything. The Graviton Hammer got a lot better as well. It gained anti-monster and anti-vehicle 3+, which is amazing. I wish I had this all the times I played against Tyrannies. And if they don't have the Teleport Crest, which is stupid, but it means that you have a Einhyr Champion, then this unit have a 5+ invulnerable save. With a champion that's really good, like, there you would be surprised how many super elite units have AP4 or AP3, and they can get a lot of boost in melee, like, oh yeah, I'm AP5 or so it will come into effect more often than you think, and you don't have any more to get a Kâhl to get this bonus. It's inbuilt into the datasheet. It just means that your champion will not have a 4-up invuln, but your champion is less this missile that you're throwing away anyway. If he's alone, then in a Ecatone Fortress, then sure, put your champion with a 4-up invuln. Otherwise, he's gonna give them teleport, and all the units, big pack of 10, is gonna have the capacity to teleport. And the 5-up invuln. Amazing. What I imagine them, I absolutely imagine 2 things. A big pack of 10 led by a Kâhl, with actually, I really want to try the Plasma Gun now that it has inbuilt rapid fire. Very good. With the Plasma Gun and the Gauntlet, also very good. I love it. Strength 7, bit weaker there, but I mean, don't go hunting tanks with that anymore. AP3 damage 2. Wow, okay, very good. You go to hunt any type of Death Guard, Terminators, Custodies with this type of profile. Damage 3, a bit sad, but still very good. The Gauntlets are a bit the same. The Strength 8, though, really good. And another way that you can make them is with the Blades and the Volkite, with a champion leading them. With, let's remember, they have a reroll charge in the first turns and stuff. Also very good. You know the Vulcanite disintegrator combo. I will not tell you like to pretend that you forgot it. They have 1 more attack, but weaker strength. To be honest, even though the Plasma Blade is extremely cool, maybe the Concussion Gauntlet is the better way to equip them. So, quite a few nerfs and everything, but why am I telling you that I like the Hearthguards still very much? For a pack of 5, you pay 135 instead of 150, which sounds fair for all the nerfs they have. And the big thing is my preferred way to play them, by 10. It goes to 270 instead of 320. So you save 50 points on the pack of 10. Yes, they are less tough, but they have exactly the same lethality. And that's how you're supposed to say, oh, okay, except the grenades, sure, whatever. And a little bit less strength. But am I happy to pay 50 points less, so going from 32 per model to 27 per model, for having inbuilt rerolling ones to hit, inbuilt rapid fire on my plasma guns, rerolling charge in the right, like in the first couple turns, and getting +1 to charge with my champion? I mean, yes. Are they absolute MVPs? No, but they don't need to be. You're not going to play 30 Hearthguards anymore like I did, except maybe in the Hearthband detachment when it's going to be reaching. But as one pack, maybe two, led by a Kâhl or a champion, absolutely I see it as a deep strike threat to threaten the enemy. Like, yeah, I might make a rapid ingress in your base. I see one pack, not auto-include. No, but really being well. Even just 135 points, no invulnerable, for 5 models to deep strike in your enemy's ranks, also still very worth it. So don't close your eyes too much on the Hearthguards. Now, the Beserks. I know many people are upset that they lost a wound. They went from 2 wounds before to 1 wound. Is it a nerf? Yes, it's terrible. Mortal wounds are going to make you pop like this. Still the same price. What did you gain in exchange? Well, actually, you gain quite a lot. They're less tanky. They might die a lot from Overwatch, but we'll see that they have some bonus. But apart from losing a wound, which is massive, I'm not trying to say it's nothing. The lost a wound is massive, and the guy with the grenade launcher also lost 2 wounds because it's 1 wound only. So yes, that hurts. But let's try to see what you gained. First of all, your -2 move, advance, and charge on a 4-up from your grenade launcher changed. If someone was hit, period, no 4+. If someone was hit, cannot make fire Overwatch, which is actually great because those guys really don't like Overwatch. It's better for you, like the range is 18, so you go at 18 with this guy, you shoot at someone, he loses Overwatch, and at your next movement phase, it's still gonna be like Overwatch is off, and then you can move and get closer, so you'll make your movement of 6 or 8, we'll see that they are. Like we've seen already in the detachment that you can make advance and charge in the red detachment, etc. So you make your big movement of 6, which they gained, and without Overwatch, you shoot again, so they don't Overwatch either in the charge phase, and then you charge and you're very happy. Okay, so you gain this. Your fight on death is still the same on 4-up, which is even more important now that you only have 1 wound and you will not tank anything. But it becomes 3-up if you are in the defensive doctrine in Fortify Acquisition. 3-up starts to be really reliable, let's be honest, guys. They also gain 1 point of save. Like, I mean, 6+ is like, could be nothing. But 5+, I mean, in cover, it's 4-up against the saturation. It starts to tank quite well. I would prefer probably to have still another one, but it's fine. You also go to toughness 6. So everything went up. Movement +1, toughness +1, save +1, like you increase a save. Only you lost a wound. So everything got better. You also lost a little bit of range with your grenade launcher, which is sad, but not too critical because it's not going to change the world. Like if you shoot at someone at 18 inches, it still means it's going to be tough to charge him next turn. So it doesn't matter that much. What they gained as well, like, okay, let's finish with what they lost. The heavy plasmax lost its sweep profile, and it gained a point of AP. Sorry, it gained a point of strength and a point of damage. So now the axe is not strength 6, it becomes strength 7. Quite well, especially against Custodians and Death Guards, to be honest. AP 2, still the same, and damage 3. They're literally Death Guards or Custodes or Terminator killers at this point. Amazing. The mauls, the hammers, are a bit weaker, strength 5, still will threaten basic Terminators just fine. But what they gained was anti-monster 3+, anti-vehicle 3+. So axe against elite infantry, Terminators, robots and everything. Concussion mauls against walkers, vehicles, monsters. And the hero with the twin gauntlet, this little guy has 1 more attack. Nice. Strength 9, so better than everyone else. Only damage 2, that's the weak thing, but twin linked in melee. So something to take into consideration. Looking at the pigeon so my cat doesn't hunt them. Overall, I mean, I was never the guy that played 30 Berserks. It was just not me. I did enjoy playing my Berserks in Sagittars, and I think I will still enjoy that very much, but they are less tanky, they are more damaging, they are very much more glass cannon than they were. I mean, they have better toughness, better save, better movements, they have some detachment to get them in melee easier, but they are going to be less easy to play, but more rewarding because they're going to do even more damage when they do contact the enemy. And one thing I didn't say, the Twin Concussion Gauntlet gain a point of AP as well. So yeah, more glass cannon type of units. They are more lethal, faster, more toughness, more save, but lost a wound, which means overall their toughness has been reduced. And also they gain, I'm not sure I said it, feel no pain 4+ instead of 5+. So again, against saturation attack, I mean, you would be happy to have a second wound, let's be honest. But still, very good unit. I think it's fair if they stay at the same point cost. They could go down with the official release of the points to 95 and 90. I wouldn't be shocked. But if they stay at 100, I'm still getting 1 or 2 in my list. Now, the Iron Steeljacks, 2 variants. And those are the new units, so I think you see the stat lines already, guys. Toughness 6 on both of them. Let's say stat line is the same, the weapons and the capacity change. Stat line is movement 5, toughness 6, save 2+. So they're basically old Hearthguards, let's say. However, they have 3 wounds. And we'll see they are the only infantry to be at 3 wounds now, because the Thunderkyn lost a wound. That is really good. Like, I mean, I don't need to tell you that it's tough. You can see it. Toughness 6, save 2+, 3 wounds. Need to get up early to kill them, especially if they stay at the point cost of 80 points for the shooty version and 100 points for the melee version. I mean, absolutely love this. The shooty versions have a thing that can have a special attack, blah, blah, blah. You buy them for one thing only, is the shooty firepower. The heavy Vulcanite Disintegrator, 6 attacks per guy, strength 6, AP 1, damage 1. So if you shoot at someone in cover, it's a bit sad. It absolutely deletes strength 3 infantry. I mean, even Sisters of Battles and stuff, like it has the devastating wound, of course. It's great saturation attack. It can even threaten some units if you can reroll your wounds to fish for the devastating wounds. And it's overall fine. Like, you absolutely don't go to hunt vehicles with this, even though if you have a free Overwatch, sure, go for it. Maybe you're gonna make some wounds with a Dêlve wound, but AP1 is not great, except if you can ignore cover. Then it starts to be like okay. Spoiler: Thunderkyn, when they shoot at someone, give you ignore cover after they shoot. So good combo there. Good combo in the Thunderkyn / Steeljack detachment, sure. And their capacity here, Purge Response, means that if they make an Overwatch, they hit on 5+. If they are in the Fortify Doctrine, then they hit on 4+. And let me tell you that 36 attacks hitting on 4+, so 18 hits, Strength 6, Devastating Wound, AP 1, Damage 1. It's not gonna kill the game, but I think it's gonna do a lot of damage. Overall, I really like those guys, and I hope they don't go too high in points later on. But as a very tough anchor for your line, I mean, at this point cost, 320 for 2 packs of 6. Yes, please. Of course. Like, I would be extremely happy to have those guys and sell my Berserks on something that is a bit tough and requires more firepower, or my Magdaryl rifle. Those guys will delete enemy infantry. Like, no questions asked. And they will not die in return. And for the point cost, I think they're really good. Also very good at gluing the enemy is the melee version. They are so they have bolt pistols basically. They have choice between 2 different weapons. Their special rules is that if the enemy tries to fall back, they can get mortal wound. This is like, I think they can die outright. It's like desperate escape. Yeah, so really threatening for your enemy if he wants to disengage from you. So this is really the guys that you make charge, like, kind of like the role of the Berserk before. You make them charge the enemy. You don't really care if you kill them or not. You just want the enemy to be glued with you. The big shooty threat, it doesn't work with vehicles or monster, but any big shooty infantry from any faction will absolutely hate to have those guys in melee. And to be honest, even vehicles and stuff, like, just go in melee with anyone and stay where you want to be, which is exactly there in melee. Their 2 weapons are either the Concussion Gauntlet, strength 10 with lethal hits, 3 attacks, AP 2, damage 2. Okay, interesting. I think the volume is not good enough to really be worth it. It's not good enough anti-tank firepower, even though strength 10 is nice and stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure it's very good at killing Marines, but what isn't? And yeah, it's just, I'm very much happier with having them also, those robots, to be cleaner of hordes, with 6 attacks per model with the Plasma Sword, sustained hit 1, hitting on 3s natively, so 2+ if you try to clean an objective, and strength 6, AP2, damage 1. So we've seen this stat line, strength 6, AP2, damage 1, you absolutely obliterate hordes with that. And both versions gain precision on the critical hits, I think. If the enemy is on an objective and stuff, like, it's fine. You don't buy them for that. If it happens that there is an Eldar in a big pack on an objective, you look at him with your Volcat, you're like, oh, well, probably you can kill the whole unit anyway. Yeah. Both units are good. I'm happy they're quite cheap. I wouldn't buy them at super expensive prices because they are not worth it. But as cheap wounds that can be very annoying, still do something fun with free Overwatch, free intervention with the right character and good Overwatch, and just not dying and gluing the enemy. I really like them, and I think I will find a way to put at least one pack of 6, maybe even more, in Hecaton Lane Fortress, and maybe a melee packs like somewhere else. Like, they're really combos. I think I want 12 or 18, maybe 24 in my collection. No, let's chill. Like, I think just 18 in your collection is gonna be way enough if you magnetize the arms. We've seen the Steeljacks, interesting unit, like very cool units, your anchor indeed. Now let's see your new artillery. It's a role we didn't have before. Love the model. It's a little diorama. And yeah, well, you know how much I love the Astra Militarum artillery. Almost made me start an Astra Militarum army. And now we have it for Leagues of Votann. Brilliant. Those guys are, again, artillery, out of line of sight, and they are not that tough, so you will want to keep them hidden. They are toughness 6, 6 wounds, 4+ save, so, I mean, they will not die to the first guardsmen that shoot at them, but you don't want to expose them either. And they have a ballistic skill of 5+, so you're going to shoot indirect, so it's going to be -1, so 6+. However, you are heavy. So if you don't move, and probably you will not, +1. And if you use your army rule, for example, you shoot at someone on an objective, or you are in the second half of the game, you are in Fortify, and you are on your objective, you also gain +1, so you're going to hit at 4+. Most of the time. There is also, remember, in the Berserk detachment, a way to have +1 to hit, etc. There are ways to shoot at 4+. Now, what weapons do you have? You have 2 types of ordnance, and unfortunately, what makes me extremely sad is that it's on your data sheet. Like, in the sense, you need to choose on your list. I would be very happy, and I don't think it would be OP at all, if you could choose, like, you have 2 weapons, you need to choose one or the other. It's literally here, like, if you see my mouth, it's literally like crates of ammunition on the, like, you could choose anyway. You have to choose, and one of them, unfortunately, is better 80% of the time, so I think it will be chosen most of the time. One thing I want to say before we start the shooting attack, they're still berserks. So they're toughness 6, which is good, but when you touch them, they have each of them 4 attack, weapon skill 3, strength 5, AP -2, damage 1. But it's not as weak as Astra Militarum artillery, for example, if someone like some Termagants click them, for example. So something to note. Now the firepower. We'll start with the weak attack, like weaker in the sense that it only has 24-inch of range. It's the Brôkyr Ordnance. Unfortunately, 24-inch means it's not great. If you play full strength, like you have 6 units of Earthshakers, 6 Earthshakers because you have 3 units, maybe you position forward 2 of them with the Brôkyr Ordnance to compensate the fact that the range is not great, and you keep the one with the Tremor Shell in the back with a 36-inch range. Brôkyr Ordnance, what do you get in exchange for shorter range? You have less shots, but this is expected, d6 +1, so there will be times when you will shoot 2 per Earthshakers, but again, it's like technically, since you have 2 guys, it's going to be 2d6 +2, so, okay. Again, you can shoot on 4+. Strength 10, interesting, and most of the time, it's your capacity. You have 2 tokens, so twice per game, you can be rerolling wounds. So, I mean, Strength 10 rerolling, full reroll of the wounds is nice. Not gonna lie about it. However, what makes it really weak, in my sense, is AP1, which means if since you're gonna shoot in indirect, the enemy is gonna have cover anyway. So basically, you're gonna shoot at AP0 most of the time. You're basically gonna cancel the cover that you give to the enemy. AP2 would be appreciated there, really, guys. Damage 2, okay, sure. It's blast as well. So if you shoot at a big pack of 10 Terminators, sure, it's a bit better. But 24-inch range for this. I mean, you're gonna wound efficiently, even tanks, maybe. But then AP -1, and you give cover to the enemy because you're indirect. I don't think you're gonna use it. The better version is the Tremor Shells. Why is it better? Few things, 3 things. First, better range, 36-inch range, which is reasonable. Like, it's very decent. You hide it on your objective, you shoot at enemies like cultists or whichever the tower, bring forth some Kroots, some guardsmen, whatever is on an objective, gonna hit them on 4s. It's going to be blast as well, so most of the time it's going to be good on your targets. It's going to be strength 6, so perfect for guardsmen. I mean, even orcs are not going to laugh at it. AP -1, which again compensate the cover that you give them. But since you're going to shoot at weaker units, it's fine. You're just going to clean some cordons that are protecting the enemies or being on objective. Okay, sure. And damage 1. Okay. So it's going to be in the end for 1 unit that you pay 95 points of. It's going to be 2d6 plus 8. And any blast that you like, if you shoot at something that has like 10 guys, let's say 10 guardsmen, or on one objective, 10 orc boys, whatever, is going to be 2d6 plus 16. Am I wrong? Like one of them is going to be 2d6 plus 12. Still very good. 2d6 plus 12. We start to have volume of fire for 95 points, hitting on 4s, strength 6, AP -1. Covered on. Still fine. And it's not over. In your shooting phase, so every single time, unlike the other capacity, which was twice per game, every single time, what you're going to get is, if an enemy was hit, so with the volume of fire you're going to hit, you choose one of the unit that was hit, and they must take a battle shock test with -1. And if they fail, I mean, it means no Overwatch, no defensive stratagem. It combos very well with your Berserks that sometimes really want to charge at something. Yes, they have their own capacity to prevent Overwatch, but it's good to have another source. And it's not just canceling Overwatch. You prevent them from holding objectives. Doesn't matter, matters a little bit less. But I really see this as a way to make sure that when you're going to punch hard on an objective, the enemy doesn't have the defenses that he wants. And also, like, removing OC on an objective, I mean, it can win you games sometimes. But still, I think it's a good fire support. Either you just try to make a battle shock test for free and the damage is a bonus. Either you just wipe out, okay, wipe out is a big word. You damage heavily some cordon units, guardsman profile. 95 points, I think I have one automatically every single time in my list. Do I want a second unit? I'm not sure, I'm really not sure. But one of them to hold your back objective and provide fire support, yes. Yes, please. The Hernkyn Pioneers. How the brave fell from grace. Some people used to play 18 of them at 90 points per 3. They dropped at 80 points, but be wary, guys, like, there are nerfs here, but they're much cheaper. 90 points to 80, it's nice. Defensive profile is the same, but they lost the extra wound on the heavy gunner, but sad. They still have Scout 9. What they are outflanking, like going out back in reserve, changed a bit. It used to be you need to be within 6, so you can make a core, like a very big line. As long as one guy was within 6, it's fine. Now it's wholly within 9. So a bit further, but everybody needs to be there. I don't think it will change tremendously how you play the units anyway. We gained a bit of range on the pistol, whatever, and on the shotgun, it goes to 18-inch, which is not enough. I mean, it's not the source of firepower, but most of the time you couldn't shoot with them. Now you might do it a bit more often, so it needs to be noted. The Hylas rotary cannon, still the same. We'll see that on another profile, on another unit, it's damage 2. If it is damage 2, it's a whole other discussion. Right now it's just fine, like it's still as fine as it is, but I want to see where is the error. If they boosted it at damage 2, we'll talk again. If it stays at damage 1 as it was before, still fine. The Iron Beamer is no longer sustain hit D3 with a 3 attacks flat. It's now It's now D3 plus 1 attack with blast, so it's a whole other purpose. It's good at hunting big packs of Marines, I guess, with strength 8, AP -2. I mean, guardsmen as well, but 18-inch range. Not such a great fan. I still prefer my Hylas rotary cannon damage 2 or not. And then you still have your Magna Coil autocannon, strength 3, everything's the same. Strength 7, 3 attacks, AP -1, damage 2. The one thing that they lost that I really loved was their pan-spectral scanner, which gave them before ignores cover. You lost it. Again, you have the ways with the Thunderkyn to remove it. But I just realized we skipped the Thunderkyn. We're going back with them right after. We have ignore cover with the Thunderkyn. But to lose this inbuilt is sad, is very sad. In exchange, you have reroll hit rolls of 1s all the time forever. Nice. The roller searchlight is not ignore stealth, is you ignore any or all modifier to the hit roll. So actually even better, to be honest. And you still have, if you give a stratagem on them, 1 CP on a 5+. Okay. Final thing that I heard between yesterday when I started and today, a couple of French reviews that were complaining about the power level. Guys, open your eyes. And one thing that nobody noted is that they finally got the same plasma knives as the Hernkyn Yaegirs. They were AP 0. They're finally AP -2. Which, I'll be honest, many times when enemies click me with weak units that are strength 3 with some defense 4, I mean AP -2 on all the attacks is absolutely not nothing. So this is a good boost as well. Overall, yes, they lost ignore cover, which they can get back from other ways. But apart from that, and yes, they lost a wound. But apart from those two things, I do believe they received a side grade. Let's say like this, they got better AP on this, better range on that. The Iron Beamer got a bit weaker. Anyway, nobody played that before. I do think it's just as good as it was, or like as a side grade, and it's cheaper. I mean, I still want to play probably 9 bikes on the table still as before, like 6 + 3 or 3 × 3. I still think they're extremely good in the Hernkyn detachment. Of course, they're brilliant. And yeah, I mean, I just think that you will want every single time to have a lot of those units, and they're still very, very good. Before we move to the rest of the vehicles, let's go back to the Brôkyr. Oh my god, did I skip another unit? I think so. It's all good. Okay, let's go back to the Brôkyr because those guys, for me, I'm very happy because they were my favorite unit. They used to be weak, they used to be terrible. They got them cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and now they're extremely interesting. However, be careful, guys. Big nerf. They went from 3 wounds to 2 wounds, because apparently only the robots get to get 3 wounds now. Still toughness 6, still save 3+, still fine, but they are much, much more of a glass cannon. Same as the Berserk, same as the army as a whole, same as the Hearthguards. Everybody got less tanky and more offensive oriented, which is fine. I am fine with that, and everything got a bit cheaper as well, except the Thunderkyn. We'll see why in a second. They lost a wound and they got more expensive. You're like, what the hell happened, guys? First of all, they give ignore cover for the whole shooting phase, which is huge. Just for this, I think you will have 2 or even 3 units of Thunderkyns, probably 1 of them, maybe 2 with bolt cannons, because just for the ignore cover, and their weapons profile got better in a lot of ways. Let's remember, like, we're just talking about the datasheets, but let's remember there are some lots of good things in the detachment. There is a detachment for them to give them rerolls. With a good character, they can have reroll of 1s to wound, can get reroll of 1s to hit. There are fewer detachments giving them this. They can get sustained 1, sustained hit 2 with detachment. They can be absolutely brutal. Let's remember, like, and we'll talk about the weapons in a second. Let's start with the bolt cannon. 36-inch range, so the best weapon to trigger, okay, this guy over there, I don't want him to have cover anymore. Combos very well with what we just talked before, which is the artillery. IP -1 is not great, but if you can point at someone at 36-inch range and say, this guy, I don't want him to have cover, now we start at all. Bolt cannon, 3 attacks per guy, 36-inch range again. Strength 6, okay. AP -1, damage 2. This way you are, thus far you said, okay, it's exactly the same. However, they are no longer sustained it 1, they're sustained it 2. Great value. If they even get reroll of 1s to hit, it's even more value because those ones can convert into a 6 and get you 3 hits, basically. So good volume of fire that can spike hard. And plus again, great way to have ignore cover. Now, the other two weapons I'm extremely excited about, both of them. Like, I think all three weapons are great. Before, everybody took Blast, the Blast Cannon and Vehicle 2 plus Blast that was killing everything. Now you really have a choice. Bolt Cannon, great range, and with the capacity you wanted. The Graviton Blast Cannon got a, no, not a side grade, better range, 24-inch instead of 18. It's no longer Blast, which is fine. I mean, it was a weird interaction with the Oathband covering fire for the Overwatch that you lost, by the way. Yeah, instead you get Breathing Fire. It's now 3 attacks instead of D6. Good, I didn't like launching so many dice. Strength 5, AP -2, and now it's damage 3. Flat 3, amazing. And that's not your anti-vehicle 2+ become anti-vehicle 3+, and finally, thank you, you gain anti-monster 3+. Finally, the Tyranid players are not gonna laugh at us. To be honest, they were sad for us when we were playing against Tyranids, like what the hell. Finally, 3 attacks per guy, 24-inch now. Anti-vehicle, anti-monster 3+, AP -2, maybe probably if you combo well with Ignore Cover, damage flat 3. Finally, yes, I'm very happy to pay 5 points extra per 3 guys for this. Even though, again, be careful, you are much less tanky. A pack of 6 guys is 12 wounds. That's it. So be careful. And the other weapon I'm extremely happy about is the SP Conversion Beamer. Same range, same conversion system, like if you shoot between 12 and 24, you have good bonuses. Great. However, let's get ready to roll, because guys, you go from 1 attack per guy to 2 attacks per guy, already good, and you are still strength 7, and you gain 1 pip of AP. You go from AP -1 to AP -2. Great. This is what's really making them unplayable. And what's even better, like strength 7 was weak, or let's be honest, and your conversion, your critical hit does not give you sustained hit D3. Fine, you have +1 attack per guy. It gives you lethal hits. Yes, please. Finally, 2 hits per guy, lethal hits, strength 7 anyway, AP -2, damage 3. So you have the Bolt Cannon, long range, volume of fire, anti-everything, anti-marines, anti-guardsmen, anti-everything. Like infantry up to Terminators, not too much in cover. Graviton Blast Cannon, perfect anti-monster, anti-vehicle. On 3+, you're going to wound them, AP -2, damage 3. And finally, the SP Conversion Beamer, same range, not so good against vehicles, even though they have lethal hits. Bit better against Terminators and very elite infantry, because you are strength 7. So against, Custodies, against Death Guard, that kind of thing, is going to be better. But only at the good range. You can lethal hit as well, and still AP -2, damage flat 3. All the weapons are good. I'm very happy for the Thunderkyn. They are less resilient for sure, but you have other units now in the Steeljacks to go on the objectives and try to tank. Those guys are not supposed to be on the front line. They are very good close range shooting units that will obliterate the enemy's elite units, either vehicles, either elite infantry, and giving Ignore Cover to the rest of your list. I think even if you don't need Thunderkyn, you still having 1 or 2 units just to point out and say, like, okay, Ignore Cover here, Ignore Cover there for all the rest of the army, because it's basically inexistent Ignore Cover apart from the army. Love the Thunderkyn, and I think you're going to see quite a few of those in some detachments, like the Hearthfyre detachment or the vehicle detachment. You're going to see a big pack of 6 with an Iron-Master to get, because, for example, little trick, the SP Conversion Beamer, you make critical hits on a 4+, which means that if you have the good relic and everything in the vehicle detachment, let's go back for a second. Yeah, I was trying to limit this as much as possible, but yeah, you have this detachment with this relic that is at 30 points, and we can say, I didn't check all the relics price, but it can change anyway, but it's going to be expensive relic, because either you disembark and then you gain sustained hit 2, but also it's a detachment where you want to spend your heal points to stay in hostile acquisition, so you can have 1 pack of your 6 Thunderkyns with the SP Conversion Beamer, and with your Iron-Master, probably as well. And those guys are going to make critical hits on 4+, and each 4+ that you're going to do is going to be like 12 attacks plus your character. 12 attacks, each 4+. It's going to be lethal hits, sustain hit 2, with weapons that are strength 7, AP -2, damage flat 3. Do I need to say more? This is amazing, and I think you absolutely want one pack of this in this detachment. But okay, let's not talk too much about combos, intra-detachment and stuff. Let's wait for the meta to settle, to have the final points, etc., like in a couple of weeks and stuff. But right now, this is a combo that seems absolutely lovely to play. Love the Thunderkyns. And now we are going to finish this review of the datasheets with the 3 different types of vehicles that you have, the Kapricus in 2 variants, the Sagittor and the Ekaton. I'm going to start with this Kapricus Carrier for the Hernkyn. The stat line is the same, just the weapons and the capacity change, a little bit like the Steeljacks. And you have 3 smoke launchers. I think this is the smoke launcher that you see, kind of like grenade launcher there. Put it every time, it's free, and it looks so cool, and you can imagine in the fluff, they're dropping forward the smoke, kind of like in a modern army style. Love it. Movement 12, very fast. Toughness 7, not too amazing. 4+ save and 7 wounds, but they are cheap. 75 points for the carrier, 70 points for the defender. The carrier has Scout 9, brilliant. Firing deck 5, we've talked about it when we talked about the Jaegers. I think 5 Jaegers, 2 with like the heavy guns, and 3 with shotguns is good. However, if you do this, the other unit doesn't have the plasma knives and stuff. I don't think you can choose anymore. You know what? Let's check. Yeah, it's you cannot choose to have half shotgun and half plasma knives, unfortunately. So yeah, if you want the shotguns in the unit, then it's not gonna be perfect. But it's still like, I mean, 3 shotguns, still 6 shots at strength 5, no AP, but still nice. So your firing deck is mostly for the special weapons of your units, and still nice. Deadly demise 1. We don't really care. It has a smoke launcher, so you can give it -1 to hit and cover if needed, which you probably will need because this poor little guy doesn't have a crazy defense profile. It can split your unit of Jaeger. This we knew before. We talked about it before. It can split, so you can have 5 Jaegers in the transport to go around making actions, making some shooting actions as well, and another 5 deployed to make your actual infiltration work. Okay, great. And in terms of firepower, it has 6 dice. All of them autocannon, so strength 7, AP -1, damage flat 2. Great. 3 of those dice are going to be with nothing, and 3 of them are going to be twin linked, so rerolling the wound. I kind of hope like, they could have fused everything together. It would have been much easier to read, but whatever, you're going to have to separate your dice is fine. For 75 points, I think it's good. Like I think I'm going to have at least 1 in my lists to split my 10 Jaegers if I don't play 20 Jaegers. And yeah, I'm quite happy with this guy. He's gonna make some actions left and right, and I just think it's gonna do enough. Like this plus 5 Jaegers going around shooting, and it has a special capacity, by the way. When you shoot at something that is not a monster or a vehicle, so basically any infantry, if you shoot at something, you need to hit. Yeah, you need to hit at least once. Then this guy gets -1 to the hit roll. So it's a nice fire suppression unit. The 6 dice of attacks are fine. Firing deck, 75 points. It has smoke. It has scout. It is nice. What I'm a bit more excited about is the Kapricus Defenders, and for a few things. They have the same defensive stat line: smoke, 4+, 7 toughness. Okay, so 7 wounds. All the same. They have no capacity of carrying. They don't have suppressive like a scanner uplink to give a -1 to hit. What they do have is, instead of the 3 hits of Magnacal autocannon without twin linked, they have 2 different weapons. One of them is the Magnarel cannon with heavy, devastating wound, hitting on 4+ base, so it can hit on 3+, strength 14, ouch, AP -4, and D3 + 3 damage. So for something at 70 points, it's great. Do note you can have 2 defenders in a single unit activating together if you want to give them a stratagem for, I don't know, reactive fire or smoke or everything. It's good to have them together, even though it means your opponent can focus fire everything and not really care about splitting fire. Still, I would prefer to have them together. And the other weapon, and this is where it's a bit weird, it's a high-last rotary cannon with everything the same range as we've seen before, 6 attacks, strength 6, AP -1. However, unlike the other rotary cannon, like for example those of the Pioneers, And unlike those of the Hearthkyn Warriors that have it as well, it has all the same keywords and everything, except this thing is damage 2. Why? Probably because they want to sell new miniatures? No, I think it's just a mistake, and either it needs to be damage 1, either all the others need to be damage 2, or at least the one of the Pioneers, because it is exactly the same model. So where is the truth? I don't know. Truth is out there, and we'll need to wait to really judge. Right now, I'm going more actually on the Magna Rail cannon as a nice shot that they can really threaten. Plus, you still have your twin-linked Magna Coil autocannons for strength 7, AP -1, damage 2 per Kapricus. Great. But need to see how it's going to be. Do note that they have still, of course, Scout 9, which is great. And they have something that the other, like, is very rare on a vehicle. After you have shot, you can make D6 movement. So they can really, like, go on the side, make a little pop shot with their Magna Rail autocannon, and then move to hide again. They're still a vehicle, so you cannot go through terrains like ruins and everything, so don't get crazy with that. But still, like, it's quite a good rule as well. For 70 points, I do think I am going to start my list with 2 Kapricus Defenders to go alongside the Kapricus Carriers and my bikes to really go on the flanks while my vehicles hold the center with my heavy infantry. Everything seems playable, and we'll have to see the final cost point and especially the final firepower of the highlight rotary cannons, because if it's damage 2, I mean, it's great. Apart from that, I'm happy with these units. They are not completely OP, and they still have Scout, which is great. Why do I say still? Because the Sagittar lost its Scout capacity of 6, which is sad. As you can see, he lost 20 points. It was 115, it became 95 points, so big change, but he got nerfed all around. Though now it's more of a transport and less of a do everything, be OP, and play 6 Sagittars, which is, I'm fine with that. Still the same splitting capacity, still everything as before. However, it went from toughness 10 to toughness 9. I'm very sad about that. Was it strong? Yes. Sure. It lost a point of objective control. Also sad. Its Sagittar missile launcher went from strength 12 to strength 10. Ouch. The Matter autocannon is still the same. Twin bolt became sustain hit 2, which is fine. It's strength 6. It gained a pip. No, it's still AP -1. And flat 2 damage as it was before, but it got a little bit boost with sustain hit 2. Not amazing, but okay, we'll take what we can. The missile launcher that goes alongside the Sagittar got a bit, like quite a boost of range. It went from 24 to 36 inch. So when you have this configuration, which is what I usually do, everything is going to shoot at 36 inch. Great, I'm happy with that. It's less of a I rush in your face full of berserks and I charge you and deal with me, and more of a fire support, middle range brawler / backline in the beginning. And finally, the last thing, something that will make people very sad, I know, is the Casino Gun, the Highlights Beam Cannon. Used to be, let's take a minute for the fallen, used to be 2 shots, sustain hit D3. Okay, so you could get 6 shots out of it, 8 shots out of it. Strength 12, AP -3, damage D6. So Casino Gun, as we used to love it. Now it's 2 attacks still. It lost completely sustained hit, still strength 12, AP -3, and now it's D6 +1. So you trade your sustained hit D3 by D6 +1. Is it a good trade? No. Is it a big nerf? Yes. You lost toughness, which is sad. You lost your scout, which is sad, even worse. Lost some OC and lost some firepower. Well, for my configuration with the missile launcher, I get a bit of range extra, even though I lost going from strength 12 to strength 10 means I go from hitting, wounding Imperial Knights on the 3+, it becomes a 5+. I mean, that's a big change. Good, we have other anti-tank options now, but it's way worse. However, it's still tough-ish. Like, I mean, toughness 9 is still fine, and it's significantly cheaper, 95 points. And with the vehicle detachment, I think you're still going to see 2 or 3 Sagittars alongside 2 or 3 Ekaton and maybe 1 Kapricus Carrier. Just real, like Kapricus Carrier, if you put it next to 6 units of artillery, it gives a sustained hit to all the units around. Quite fun, but let's not talk about that. Sagittars, I think 95 points is still expensive for all the nerfs you got. Like Scout was really like huge in how you play this in turn 1. Lost and less damage and less toughness. I think they could have got it to 90 or 85 points even. Even 80 wouldn't be crazy. Wait, that would be fine. But yeah, I think 85 points would be a fairer price. We'll see the final reported price cost later on. For now, I think it's like, still good. You will not see people playing 6 of those anymore. If you have unpainted, unbuilt Sagittarius, I can buy them back from you. But joke aside, I love the model. I still think it's good. It's just not as OP as it was. And now it's very much angry Razorback or angry Impulsor more than a small battle tank. We finish with the very last datasheet. Of course, we kept the best for last. The Hecatonland Fortress. It stays at toughness 12. I'll be honest, if it was toughness 11, I would be extremely upset. It's absolutely not 95 points. I wish it's 225 as it was before. It is movement 10. It has its own detachment where it can break through terrain and stuff, which I really, really love. 16 wounds, everything the same, save 2+, sure. What changed? Many things, actually. It lost the full reroll of the wounds on a unit that goes out, so you cannot fish for mortal wounds on your Volkites anymore. Sad, but what did you gain? You gain 2 extra seats, which does allow you finally to bring 6 of the Thunderkyn plus the character. So that is great. You can also put 6 of the Steeljacks, the new guys, with a character inside, and maybe even another character like a Kâhl or whatever, or Buri actually, I just realized. Also, it works, like 6 Thunderkyn, 6 Steeljacks, plus their Memnyr, plus another Kâhl-sized character. Probably Buri Aegnirssen is going to be happy in that Hecatonland Fortress. Lots of good things. The exoframes, so Thunderkyns don't take 3 spots anymore, but 2. Great. Say exo armor still the same, but do you really want them in there? I'm not sure anymore. I think now the Hearthguards, you really want them to be inside in deep strike with rapid ingress and stuff, which is their role. Now you're going to want your heavy infantry there. You can also put, I realize, you can also put your little pack of 10 Hearthkyn with the Grimnyr, 11, and then you put Buri inside, it goes to 12, and then you put a Einhyr Champion, goes to 14. I mean, you can still mix and match very well with this capacity of 14, exoframe taking only 2 models. It's great, love it. In terms of capacity, it's a better transport than it has ever been. It's, in transport terms, perfect. No more reroll of wounds, but still amazing. What did it trade instead of rerolling wounds for the unit that goes out? It got multi-cog targeting. It means that you can, when you shoot, when it's important, you can ignore all modifiers to ballistic skills, hit rolls. So you will always hit on at least 4+, and most of the time 3+ when you get a bonus. And the enemy can give stealth, can have I'm obscure. No, you hit good. You cannot make sure that the Hecaton doesn't hit you. So that's great. The Pan-Spectral Canner that used to be inner cover, same as everyone, it means rerolling once to hit, which is sad on something like the Twin Bolt Cannon that is AP1, but again, you have other ways to ignore cover with the Thunderkyn that you will put. However, rerolling once to hit is actually quite great. I did play with this on with a Hearthband when I was trying to make Hearthband work. Rerolling once to hit on a heavy Magdarel cannon, I can tell you that when you're gonna do this, or when you're gonna reroll a 1, or for your SP conversion Lemur into a 6 or 4+ and stuff, you're gonna be very happy with that. So rerolling once, it's actually significant. The weapons changed as well. The cyclic iron cannon, which was the worst weapon already, became worse for some reason. It went from strength 9 to strength 7, and it lost an attack. D6+3 became D6+2. I don't understand what's going on. Nobody played that before, and it got even worse while the other weapons got boosted. I don't know, guys. This will need to be errated somehow, or we'll need to wait, because right now it's so strictly inferior that I don't understand what they did so good with the Thunderkyn to make everything playable. Here, I don't know, make it damage 3, or make it, I don't know, anti-vehicle or whatever. Do something with this, or lock lot more attack if you want to keep this damage profile. Make it, I don't know, 2d6 plus 6 or something like that. Make it mass firepower, but right now, you'll never play this, I think. Another weapon that got a big boost, side grade will say some people, is the Heavy Magneral Cannon. Still strength 18, AP minus 4. Now you reroll once to hit. Great, because you take the Brandfast Cannon, you don't take the rockets ever. Now it's not d6 plus 6, it's d6 plus 4. Oh, sad. But the huge difference is that now you have 2 shots with your Heavy Magneral Cannon. Amazing, what can I say? Like, this changes a lot, and now I'm highly considering one of my fortresses to give it 2 shots of Heavy Magneral Cannon. If I'm being honest, I'm considering 2 of my Cthonian fortress, because if I tell to my opponents I can have 4 shots shooting at you at 3s, strength 18, devastating wound, AP minus 4, d6 plus 4, this starts to be a significant anti-tank firepower. The Hekaton Warhead, to be honest, like, you so want the reroll of once to hit. I didn't even check to see if it changed, because it's a one-shot weapon, d6 plus 3, strength 7, AP minus 2, 2 damage. No, never. If it were not one shot, we can talk. d6 plus 3 per turn, extras. Even then, I am not sure you take it. Even then. But since it's one shot, let's not even talk, you never take it. Matter Autocannon is the same, except it became a sustained hit 1. Great. Assault. Not sure how often it's going to be useful, but I mean, it is assault, so technically you got it. In case you want to advance and not shoot with anything else, you still have it. And strength 7, AP minus 1, damage 2. Happy with that. You always have this weapon, so straight up boost. Basically consider you gain sustained hit 1. Great. And another weapon that changed is the SP Conversion Beamer. This is what I used to play personally, conversion. So remember, if you are between 12 and 24 inch, you gain critical hit on a 4 up. Great. It used to be that you had sustained D3. So even with 2 shots, you usually had 1 that go through plus D3, so 2 or 3 hits. Okay, great. Strength 10, AP minus 2, damage 4. Now, you lost the sustained hit completely. So you're like, oh, but I don't have so many shots. Now you have flat 4 shots. Good. Still the same conversion, except now the conversion is lethal hit. So probably you're going to have at least 2 of those shots, maybe more if you reroll ones or you're lucky on, that are going to get through, automatically wounding. So you can even go hunting a Baneblade with that. I barely exaggerate. And still, if you make a 3s and you hit or you don't, you still strength 10, which is not negligible depending on your target. I know some people like the casino guns. I very much prefer this version. It's more stable, and you can more reliably know what your unit's gonna do. There is nothing more frustrating than either not doing any damage while you were like at all because you just got a little bit unlucky on your casino gun, or obliterating a mere like guard space marine and doing 25 damage on someone that had like 8 wounds because you got lucky, but it doesn't matter. It's very rare that you got lucky on the right unit and oh my god, I one-shot Einhyr, which is a great feeling. But I much prefer this system. Last changes, because damn, they changed everything, is for the secondary weapons. You have 2 twin bolt cannons or 2 twin ion beamers, and you can switch, but I would recommend to keep the same for the same. The twin bolt cannons are still 36 each range. They gain sustained hit 2, very good. And apart from that, it's basically the same. Twin link, so you're going to have 6 shots, strength 6, twin link, AP minus 1, damage 2. Damage 2 is appreciable, AP minus 1 is set. The other one that changed a lot are the twin ion beamers, still the same range, but they used to be also 6 shots altogether. Now it's going to be 2d3 plus 2, so a bit less. They became those strength 8 instead of strength 7. Twin link, so it doesn't matter that much. AP minus 2, damage 1, sad. And you gained blast. Blast does mean be careful that you cannot shoot in melee if an enemy clicks you. Yes, in 3 detachments you have a way to pull back and shoot, but be careful with that. Overall, strength 8 is nice, AP minus 2 is very nice. I would go, guys, with the twin bolt cannon. You can shoot from from twice the distance, still shoot good. And if you shoot at marines, Yes, you're gonna wound them a little bit less, and your AP is a bit worse, but you're gonna one-shot them per unit. And everything that with 2 wounds, you're gonna be very happy to have this. Plus sustain hit 2. I mean, my recommendation for now, go with the twin bolt cannons all the time. So you don't have so many choices anymore. The heavy magna rail cannon still like becomes very, very interesting. SP heavy conversion beamer is still very good all the time. You never take the Hecaton Warhead, you take the Panspectral Scanner, and the others you can discuss, but I would recommend 2 twin bolt cannons. Overall, it's still very tough. It's better transport. I do think it did gain a little bit in terms of firepower. Hecaton was a staple, and now I think I'm playing 2 every single time in my vehicle detachment that I will try many times. And even in other detachments, 1 or 2, for sure you're going to be very happy. Even 3 in the vehicle detachments. I think I need a 3 Hecaton, don't I? Yes, I do. Absolutely brilliant unit, staple of the kin lists, and even better than before. There we are, kin. This is how the entire codex is. I hope that you are as excited for me to start to play with all those new options. Overall, what are my opinions on it? I am very, very happy. I know many people are upset, like, because things change. Our Hearthguards used to be mini Terminators. Now they're more like shock troopers, and they're absolutely not Terminators, but they're not priced as Terminators either. So we need to rethink a little bit of everything. Many units like the Berserk, the Hearthguards, the Thunderkyns become less tanky and more of a damage dealer, but we have other ways to tank. There were some side grades, there were some nerfs, let's be honest. The Sagittor got a nerf, straight up, and the Hearthguards got also nerfed. There is no telling other ways about it, but they got much cheaper, and I think they might even get cheaper, cheaper with a real final points cost. Detachments are fun. All 5 of them have a very clear DNA, and I'm going to try all of them except the Berserks. But even if you just play 30 Berserks or 20 Berserks, still a good detachment. I really want, while I'm at this picture from the Warhammer community, guys, you show us this guy, Games Workshop, give us a model. Like, I mean, I converted my Hearthkyns to look like this guy, but please give us a model. Please, guys. And beyond that, I really think it's a good codex overall. Now, guys, if you didn't see my previous video, I will just make a little reminder because, as you know, I was very excited for the codex. I'm still very, very excited now that I know everything that is inside. I'm 100% happy that I play the kin. Some people want them to be mini marines and super elite. They are less that now. They're closer, like between Sisters of Battle and Space Marines, let's say, in terms of power per model. Which is fine. It's where I wanted them to be. I understand that some people say like dwarves are supposed to be super elite. They're not genetically modified. They're just normal, super cool, but just dwarves. So fine with that for me. If you guys want to have literally the best prices you can find in Europe, which is 22.5% of the retailer price, I started a little community event starting tomorrow. We are going to make a little thing with Myobi Place. Myobi Place is the largest retailer of miniatures in France, by far. It's a partner of the channel. We are partners on other games like Dystopian Wars, Conquest, Armored Clash, etc. Great games, all of them. Not very much in Warhammer, but they also do Warhammer. So what I'm going to do is that Myobi Place is minus 20% on all the boxes. This is minus 20%, something that you guys know. But since there is this huge Votann release, what I did, and I confirmed with my replays that it was okay before, is that you're gonna buy your Leagues of Votann on Myobi Place. When you do this, you go to your cart, and if you go here, you can choose who to support in your basket. As you can, maybe not the Sagittor, but yeah, the Hecaton for sure I'm buying. You can choose Love and War Games. If you do this, usually I receive back as a coupon 5% of the order for me as a partnership. That's very transparent with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, if you do this during the pre-order of the Votann, so during the next 2 weeks, starting on Saturday until the Votanns are released, if you do this and you make an order with us as a recipient, I'm going to give you back 2.5%, so half of what I would earn, extras on the 20% of Myobi Place. So overall, it's going to be 22.5% off all the Leagues of Votann. and technically I cannot see what is in your basket, so if you buy other games, it's gonna work as well, but it's mostly for the Leagues of Votann that I'm doing this, so during the pre-order of the Leagues of Votann. You're gonna just send me a message on the Love and War Games Discord or on YouTube and everything, and we're gonna make it work after 15 days after you receive this, so beyond the way when you can give back the box. Go back to my previous video from a couple of days ago to see the details. And of course, thank you very much to do this, because it shows to my replays that we are a good partner. All right, that is it, kin. It was a very long video. I will try to make at in a longer time period some battle reports with the new Leagues of Votann, of course. But as you know, we are a multi-game channel, so we have some conquests coming right up. We have the new version, the 4th edition of Dystopian Wars, which we're gonna make some great early battle reports before the new edition is released. We're gonna have lots of different things. I have a tournament report for Epic Armageddon, so Legends Imperialis, Net Epic, this kind of thing, coming up soon. And yeah, we're going to try to cover everything. 40k is not the main game, but since I do some battle report, tournament reports, and everything for the leagues, my Leagues of Votann, which I love so much, that is why I thought it was important and interesting to have the point of view of someone that literally plays Leagues of Votann since they were released in 9th edition, to have a point of view and counterbalance some of the influencers and stuff that don't play with or against Leagues of Votann often and are like, yeah, what the hell is this codex? It's terrible. It's the worst codex of the 10th edition, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. It has a lot of flavor, a lot of tricks. And guys, let's talk about it again when we have the final points and in a couple of months when people get to play. And I'm sure it's going to be like Death Watch when people were like, oh, it's so terrible. It's the worst new index that had been released. And we realized it was very strong. I'm 100% sure that it's going to be the same for Leagues of Votann. So try new things. Try to clear your images of the past. Hearthkyns are tougher than before. Hearthguards have a whole new role. Don't play your Hearthguards as you did before. Don't play your Beserks as you did before. Same for your Thunderkyns. And let's talk again in 2 months. All right. Thank you guys for having watched until the end. Take care of yourself. And until the next video, remember to keep things fair in love and war games. Bye.